Welcome to another installment of Tag Me In, where the triple threat brain trust of tag go over the good, the bad, and everything in between in the world of professional wrestling. I, of course, am the unofficially official Lip Dizzle, joined with the greatest partners, co-hosts, friends, mother effers in the biz of the IWC.
He's talking about us. Okay, cool.
Mr. the less than stealthy unicorn himself, Scooter El Zero Mero.
Oh.
And of course, last but certainly not least, what the ladies love to, or rather who the ladies love to hear, the heartthrob of the IWC, Mr. Jaeger Bombastic, so fantastic. If he takes them tag titles from Shotzi and Ember, he won't give back until they give him some of that back.
Oh, damn.
That was awesome.
That's a slow clap worthy there. That's beautiful.
Here's the thing. I mean, before we even get into like what we even thought of last night's events, I don't even have to ask Scoot if he has any news, because it's been a crazy week in the world of wrestling. So before I even ask, I'm not gonna ask Scoot. I'm just gonna say, Scoot, you got the floor, man.
Yeah.
You got the floor.
All right. So first things first, let's congratulate Eric Bischoff. He will be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, class 2021. So
well deserved.
Eric Bischoff.
Yep.
Officially, WrestleMania, they are allowed to have 25,000 people in attendance.
Cool.
Because they wanted to shoot for 45,000. Because of course, with WWE being WWE, they wanted to be the largest event post-COVID, or during COVID, because technically COVID is still here.
Mm-hmm.
But so officially they can have 25,000 people in attendance on both nights. And I think they're kind of doing like an AEW-esque type of thing, where I think it's going to be like kind of like a 6-person pod situation.
Okay.
Throughout Raymond James. So there will be fans in attendance at WrestleMania. And I think the tickets went on sale this morning. And I think the tickets range from $35 to $2,500. So
damn.
Yeah.
Came down the price like a little bit, but
like a little bit.
I mean, shit.
But that's a big gap. 35 to 25.
That's a huge gap. I mean, I guess you know where your nosebleeds are, but
yeah.
Shit.
Also, it was kind of halfway confirmed that Vince virtually threw out the WrestleMania plans, other than Bianca, Sasha, Roman, and Edge.
Wow.
But yeah, apparently he kind of started from scratch in a sense. But I don't know if y'all saw Raw Monday. The New Day is now your 11-time tag team champions.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I heard that. And they're gonna go against
AJ
Styles and Omos.
And AJ and Omos, which the house that AJ Styles built. AJ and Omos challenged them for the tag team title, so that match is officially happening at WrestleMania. What else? Oh, when the show kicked off, it announced Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. Okay. So far we have 4 matches. So we have 4 matches for a 2-day WrestleMania.
No build whatsoever.
Yeah, it was just literally, I mean, as soon as the Raw theme song went on, Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, WrestleMania, and it was just like, okay. And it looks like the Bad Bunny Damian Priest versus Miz and Morrison might be back on because of their little interactions they had Monday.
It was off.
Well, at the time Miz became champion, and we didn't know how long we didn't know Miz was going to have an 8-day title reign. So,
yeah, that's true.
So far, I think that's really it shaping up with WrestleMania right now. So far we have 4 matches announced.
Okay.
And I guess since Fastlane is Sunday, we'll start to see a more clearer picture for the upcoming 3 weeks. And officially, I'm gonna just keep steamrolling. Officially, WWE Network is a part of Peacock. And this man, sorry, wrong way. This man right here, he was absolutely correct. Peacock was solely created to have The Office.
That's it. That is it. It's trash. It is fucking trash.
Because I signed up to Peacock last weekend, and the missus and I went through it. I'm not rushing to nothing that's on there other than
oh my god,
other than maybe Psych the movie part 2. I'm not rushing to anything on there.
Is that it's like featured movie?
That literally, that app was created just to have The Office. That streaming service was to solely be like, hey, we're the only ones you can watch The Office on.
This might be a hot take, but guys, The Office is not all that. I mean, The Office is great. The Office is a great show, but I mean, I could only imagine myself going through like 2 watches. I watched it like 1 time through already.
Yeah.
I don't like. I'll do it maybe 1 more time, and then I'll continue to laugh at the memes through the rest of my life. But
I guess people like to just cut it on and just let it be on.
Yeah, it's in the same boat as like Friends.
That's exactly how I watched it. I'll be honest.
Yeah. So I got a chance to go through the network since it's on Peacock, and everything isn't on there now. Since I do have the $5 tier, which gives me ads, boy, do they insert ads!
Oh my god!
So it's like YouTube,
like YouTube or Hulu, huh?
Yeah. So an hour-long show. So from what I see, if you're watching a show live, you should be fine. And depending on how recent a show is, you should be fine. But like for shits and giggles, I went to last week's NXT UK. There are at least 5 ad breaks in there.
Jeez.
And then I went to I went to Royal Rumble because it's funny. Elimination Chamber 2021 isn't on there yet. But Royal Rumble 2021. And in Royal Rumble 2021, there are 13 ad breaks.
Jeez.
Why, man?
So for a 3.5-hour show, it was 13 ad breaks. And now the question I really have, since Peacock is now on WWE Network and most of those subscriptions was moved over, can Peacock handle all of these people accessing the app at the same time? Like, I guess Fastlane might be a test, but more people are going to watch WrestleMania than Fastlane.
True.
And since we're doing a watch party, I'm not trying to have that shit crash while we watching it. Because April 1st, WWE Network goes away completely. So I'm not trying to have that shit crash while we having a watch party.
I mean, look, they're going to get a mouthful and an eyeful if it happens. If it does.
Everything full, to be honest. So all these neckbeards just going to be like, what the fuck? I couldn't watch Vince McMahon be old and decrepit. I'm sorry, I'm being retarded right now. But
Peacock will get all the flack for it. Like WWE won't get the flack for it.
Yes.
Like, oh, it's Peacock's fault. They couldn't handle this because they're a trash ass streaming service. So what the fuck ever. Fuck Peacock.
See, that's when WWE is gonna have to lay the blame on Peacock. They'll be like, hey, sorry, but They just couldn't handle the workload, I guess. And then
True.
hopefully the people still don't shit on WWE for it.
I mean, they're gonna need some kind of buffer, especially if WrestleMania is fucking trash, because with them not having any build to it to build any anticipation for it, which is one thing that gets me, is like you're willing to put these tickets on sale for the same prices that you would for a regular WrestleMania, yet you haven't really built anything to be like, hey, we got to go to this show, or hey, we're doing ticket sellers right here. Like, this is the reason that you need to go here. Like, you're basically buying a hope in a potential dream by thinking that, okay, well, you know what? I get to cross them off my bucket list. So there's that. But you're not going to go there and get entertained because you'll get surprised by a trash ass show. So I don't
understand. Like, I don't know. I guess they're just that hungry to get back to like regular price and like full seating and whatever the hell. But like you don't even have a full card yet, and you want to like put out $2,500 seats, like
right?
That
like that sounds crazy.
Matches, but you don't have a full card for even part 1 of the WrestleMania.
No, you don't have one night unless you make them all Iron Man matches. You don't even have one night like set up yet.
Look,
no, you don't.
The reason why I hate that is mainly because you watch, again, and we'll get into it, but AEW and NXT, and the way that they're on their road to their respective shows. Now, of course, AEW is different because they only have about 4 pay-per-views a year, but NXT is almost in the same boat. They don't have 4, but they have a little bit more than that, but not as many as.
I think they have. I think they got increased to 5.
Okay, so because they started
5 takeovers. I know. Usually their takeovers are usually in conjunction with the big 4, and one will kind of be just like a somewhere mixed in there, but it's usually 5 with NXT.
Okay. But even with like even last night NXT, you could feel that it was like the beginning of like the road to stand in the
Absolutely.
And it's funny how you can kind of see the direction that things are going. And I think they either have 4 or 5 matches at this point already set up. Like at least I think 2 or 3 confirmed, and then like 2 maybe not confirmed, but you already know it's going in that direction. And that, to me, I'm like, yo, like come on. and this is your developmental program that you have, and they're doing things way better than you.
It's because you got trips behind it.
Very true. Very fucking true. But again, they don't pay us to think.
No. Apparently, Shawn Michaels regrets coming out of retirement for that match.
I bet he does. I bet he does.
So, if anybody cares about that, Freddie Prinze Jr. He says that if y'all remember, he used to write for WWE. He says that we should praise Triple H and Cody Rhodes a lot more than what we really should.
I agree.
Because he was saying, if you really knew how much TV execs do not want wrestling on their programs, the fact that these guys are putting themselves out there to be the face of their respected brands and to try to, talk to the execs and this and show, he said, we should really have more love for people like Cody and Triple H more than what we really do. So I thought that was a pretty interesting piece of news right there.
And I think, and Freddie Prinze Jr. actually gets it. Like, he understands,
yes,
like, as far as like the backstage, he understands who honestly needs to be in that business and who honestly does not. And I respect him for it because he was a writer for a long time.
Yeah, I think when he was on the New Day podcast, I forgot how long he said he was there, but I know it was a couple of years he was there as a writer. And then not only was he a writer, but apparently he was an acting coach too.
Yes.
Yeah, he was an acting coach. Because he told his story about how, his interactions with The Miz, and, The Miz was kind of feeling himself because I think he had just did The Marine.
Mm-hmm.
What's The Marine he just did? One of the movies The Miz had just did. So, it was like.
The Marine movies. Because
I know Miz started at Marine 3.
Okay, it was because it was Teddy DiBiase Jr. that was in Marine 2. That's
yes. So, but the explosive news, which I'm pretty sure Mr. Deasley will definitely have something to speak on it. Andrade, CN Almost, requested his release from the WWE on Monday, I think.
And it was not fucking granted.
And it wasn't granted, but he did confirm today on his Twitter that he did ask for the release, that all the rumors was true. He does want to be released. So I guess, gentlemen, how do we feel about Andrade asking for his release and being denied his release?
Well, I'm going to congratulate him on asking for his release because I think it's something that he should do, for one. But that's about as far as that part goes. As far as WWE not allowing him to leave, the fuck for? The fuck for? You're not using him. He's been off TV for the longest. You eliminate.
Oh, hold on. I think they said since October when he lost to Garza.
So since October, so that would explain why he's probably been off TV. So he asked for his release. You keep him off TV. You won't allow him to be released, but yet you will not use him. Here's the problem with this, because this is what pisses me off, is the fact that
they
sit there and they make all this fucking money. They will not pay anybody, but then you're going to pay people to stay home because you're not keeping them there on contract without giving them pay. So I know he's basically getting the paycheck to sit at home. If he wants to do what he loves and you're not providing that passion for him, then let him fucking walk. It makes no sense.
And that's kind of what he said in his tweet. He was like, yeah, the rumors are true. I'm just trying to be prepared for my future and what I can do elsewhere, basically. I'm kind of paraphrasing.
Yeah.
But yeah. So now, how do you feel about this rumor? Apparently, one of the rumors is WWE doesn't want to use him because his English isn't great. That was one rumor.
I've heard that rumor. And then I've heard the same rumor because of like Shinsuke. Like that's that's where he got stuck in the mid cards because of that. But
Shinsuke can speak English very well.
Now, yes. I don't know, since he's come, his English has improved immensely.
Yeah. Because I remember when he was on Up Up Down Down with Asuka, I think that was in 2019, I think. He was able to translate for Asuka and have a conversation perfectly with Woods. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Fucking bullshit. See, there are ways to work around things. If you had a problem with that, why would you call him up? If you felt that his English was going to be an issue, you should have kept him at NXT where they were using him correctly, just like they do all of their talent, regardless of any language barrier whatsoever. You also can't use that argument because AEW does it perfectly with Penta and Phoenix. And with all the Japanese sounds that they do have. So again, another strike against you. English-speaking people go to Japan and all Japanese-speaking promotion, and they do just fine with the language barriers. So again, another strike against you, WWE. Fuck you for that. Bullshit. Let that man get out of his contract. Let him go live his passion and do what he wants to fucking do. Bullshit.
Because I sent it to my brother, and the first thing he knows about the article, he was like, one, why did they have to mention that him and Charlotte was engaged? Like, what does that have to do with him asking for his release? And then he was like, let that man go do what he needs to do. If he needs to go find himself, if he needs to go back to Mexico, if he needs to go to Japan, if he needs to go to Impact, AEW, ROH, hell, even if he needs to just go up the street and around the corner, let that man go do what he needs to do. Obviously, he doesn't feel appreciated where he's at.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure at this point, other than some of the friendships, I'm pretty sure the best thing that probably happened to him was probably Charlotte.
Yeah.
At this point. But
yeah.
I mean, I think it's weird how they doing things there. It's like you don't want your talent to leave, but you tie them to these crazy contracts. Then when they're unhappy and be like, look, like imagine you haven't wrestled, I think they said October 24th. Mm-hmm. You haven't wrestled since October 24th. You're not injured. You're fine. You just been sitting at home collecting a check. You didn't watch your fiance come back, win tag titles, been doing all of these stuff, and you're just sitting at home. Like, I'm here. I'm not hurt. Like, I understand y'all fired Zelina, but I don't have to talk. I can just go out there and just beat people up.
Exactly.
Like, like I don't have to talk. I don't have to do interviews. Just let me go fight some people. Call it a day.
But at the same time,
since October 12th.
Oh, October 12th. My bad. So I knew it was October.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it was since October 12th when he lost a brief match to Angel Garza. Yeah. Then he and Zelina Vega were attacked by The Fiend and Alexa Bliss. And within a month of that, Vega was released, and then we didn't see anything of Andrade.
Damn. So October 12th. So technically that has been November, December, January, February. It's been 5 months. It's been 5 full months since Andrade. If you didn't follow Andrade or Charlotte on Instagram, you would have thought the man phased into nothingness.
Yeah. Bo Dallas.
He removed
Bo Dallas, you right?
He removed every mention or all of his WWE stuff on his social media too.
Because he probably thought he was gonna get granted his release. I mean, 5 months.
Yeah.
See, and you've had, and that's the problem with WWE that I can't stand is that it's that same story with everybody that tends to leave. Brody sat at home, wanted his release, couldn't get it. You had Pac, then Neville, wanted his release, became defiant and said, you know what, I'm just going to sit everything out until you release me. Proud of you for that. FTR, they asked for their release a number of times, never wanted to re-sign nothing like that, and they just waited out their contract.
Yeah.
Ty Dillinger, of course, Sean Spears in AEW, the same thing, except he went to Twitter and then put that he asked for his release and then got it granted. So
EC3.
EC3 he literally sat into obscurity.
Fuck, his name just slipped my mind. Sanity. Eric Young.
Oh, yeah. Same thing. Used to fucking job. One.
Zack Ryder, now Matt Cardona. Kurt Hawkins, now Brian Myers. All of these people. Like
the Good Brothers. Guys who could have left and actually stayed loyal to your fucking company, and then
they cut them loose.
Let them go.
After doing a program with The Undertaker.
You're lucky.
Like, listen how that sounds. They did a WrestleMania match with AJ, basically AJ and the Good Brothers versus Undertaker in the Boneyard match. Then, like a week later,
gone.
Yep.
Remember that contract we was gonna give y'all?
And honestly,
we're not feeling it now.
It doesn't matter about the rumors with Paul Heyman being involved in any of that. It's the fact that WWE still allowed it to happen.
Yes.
That goes with the overall consensus of everything that they tend to do. It's a pattern, and it does not change. It's like you get people, you think they're hot when they're in NXT, you call them up for no fucking reason, only to sit there and not use them, to basically have them wasted when they could have stayed in NXT. Matter of fact, if you wanted to keep Andrade, what you should have done is had him go back down to NXT like you did with Balor, and then have him lead Legado del Fantasma, and then leave it at that. That would have been perfect, because he would have actually felt appreciated enough to be used down in NXT rather than sit there at home and get paid to not do what he fucking loves to do. Bullshit. Fucking bullshit.
I mean, it goes back to with John Huber, rest in peace. He said, "Yo, I'll just go to NXT and be enhancement talent. Just let me wrestle. Like, I'll put over all the people you want me to put over. Just let me wrestle." Like, that's wild. But yeah, so I guess we'll see what happens with good old Andrade.
Yeah, for sure.
Seeing
hope you get your release, Andrade. I really do, bro. I really do.
Me too. Well, until then, that list grows. Justice for Andrade.
Justice for Andrade. I need to get on that list so I can have that shit run across the screen like it needs.
Well, since we're about to roll into it, the last bit of news does tie into NXT. If NXT looked a little weird last night, is because they had an outbreak with COVID-19. Now, it wasn't confirmed who got it, who didn't get it, but apparently it was a nice little amount of individuals.
Jeez.
So that might have been why NXT might have looked a little strange. But yes.
A little off.
A little off, but yes. Because one match did not happen last night, which was supposed to be Swerve and Ruff.
Oh, that's right.
So maybe they were affected. Maybe they were just supposed to be quarantined. We don't know. Because like I said, the list of individuals did not come out. But yes.
Well,
apparently a nice little amount of people.
If that's the case, if it was between Ruff and Swerve, I would have to say that Swerve would have been the one that have caught it, because, again, Leon Ruff is, I think, engaged to that referee, and she was there last night.
So, well, I don't know, because, Swerve's girl, well, I don't think they live together, but, Swerve's girlfriend is Jessie Kamea.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
Didn't know that.
So, and she was there last night, so I don't know.
Interesting. Well, then.
Like I said, that's only if they live together. They might not live together, so they might.
True.
So she might have got lucky.
True that. Well, then fuck it. We're just going to say they both got it, and they don't live with their respective partners.
But with that being said, I guess Mr. Deasley, let's why don't you
get into
it?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, even though NXT looked a little weird, it still tend to make the most of it, and they still did a decent show as far as build up, because that's what this whole show felt. It felt like it was a consistent build up with as far as going towards Stand and Deliver, which I appreciated, because there was wrestling on the show, obviously, but it felt more like a Monday Night Raw, where you would have a lot of segments going on and very little wrestling, because the show opened up with Balor.
But you know what, I can appreciate NXT doing that, because the wrestling can be good.
Absolutely.
When Raw and SmackDown does it, you can't have all these stories and then give subpar matches at the same time.
Yes.
That'd be the problem with Raw and SmackDown. Like, True. If the matches were just complete bangers, you can spend all the time y'all want with these cheesy ass promos and whatnot. But when you give us these cheesy ass long-winded promos, hey, Shane McMahon, Braun Strowman, whatever this fucking storyline y'all got, please stop this shit. Please. This isn't helping nobody. This isn't helping no one.
What is this supposed to be? Because I'm seeing the social medias of it. But
I'm gonna give you a quick rundown. Braun Strowman has
been very small one.
Braun Strowman has been feeling screwed since he came to Raw. and he's been blaming Shane and Adam Pearce. Well, now Shane has basically took over the beef, and now they're doing the big guy, little guy's picking on the big guy, calling him stupid, calling him. It's kind of like when Shane and Big Show beefed way back then. With the whole, which way did he go? Which way did he go? Which way did he go? Now it's like Braun, and then of course Braun with the whole I was used to being bullied when I was a kid, or what yeah, Braun brought that whole I was bullied thing, stealing it from Lars Sullivan almost. And
Braun,
they had
I would not believe that Braun had been bullied as a kid.
Monday. Shane got disqualified. Put Strowman through the announce table because he elbow dropped Strowman through the announce table.
Okay.
Then he channeled some Nickelodeon shit and dumped a bucket of slime on Braun.
That's what I saw on the social medias.
It was like, what in the Nickelodeon am I watching here?
I saw memes for that immediately, that there was like the Nickelodeon watermark on WWE now.
So Sunday at Fastlane, they supposed to have their true one-on-one. I personally think this shit's going to extend to WrestleMania, but that's been
with only 4 matches on the card.
So yeah, that's been the thing with that. So yeah,
I cannot. You know what? Yeah, I want to see it now. I want to see Shane McMahon versus Braun Strowman in a slime match. Yeah.
Fuck.
All right, but Mr. DJ.
Onto the shit that matters. Right. So it started off with, of course, NXT champion Finn Balor. Now, before I get into that, I will say this: I didn't expect NXT to start with this. I really assumed that they were going to start with the newly crowned women's tag champs, and I think they should have. I understand why they started with Finn, because of what happened down the line and what led into the main event. But to me, I felt that it did what the women did last week injustice, because I felt like they deserved more because of what they put into the show. And again, that's not to say that Finn does not do anything for the show. It's just for the fact that we know where this is going. We already know it's something we've been anticipating. We don't need for them to build more into it. And my gripe with that also goes further into the main event and the creation of what this main event brought on as well, because it's a gripe that I have.
Yeah, I was in that same boat. Oh, well, hold on. Jaeger, did you get a chance to watch NXT?
I did.
Okay.
So, of course, Balor came out, does wonderful promo work, as always, basically ran down who he's beat, and basically how we already felt, just how we felt that it was going to lead up to this. And I love when Cross came out, how the way that he stated it was basically, it was inevitable, but we both knew we had to take care of our respective businesses before this happened. And I like that. I like that little nugget, because it's something that we were talking about up to this point as well. And it worked out. And it even fed more into last week's ending, where Cross finally showed up into the ring after Balor's match with Cole. And their little back and forth was cool. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed when Scarlett interjected, because, again, Scarlett, come on now.
Hey, before we continue, the big dick energy Finn has, because Karrion Kross is 6'5", 275, and we seen what he did to his opponents.
Yes.
Finn was talking to that man like, fam, I don't give a fuck.
And that's
I don't give a fuck.
Like, he's what, barely 205?
I think he's like 218 tops.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
But of course, we get, and I hate saying it like this because they don't deserve it, but it's the way they've been treated. This is probably the only thing that NXT has done wrong, like blatantly so far, and they've made Oni Lurkin and Danny Burch look like stooges, because they come out not for themselves.
Yeah,
I know, right?
They come out talking up Pete Dunne, which is nothing wrong with that. Absolutely not. But you guys hold gold within this company. You guys are the tag champs. You don't have to sit there and talk up Pete Dunne. He can do that himself. He does it perfectly fine with his actions all the time. And so basically they talked up saying that, okay, well, you know what? He will be champion.
No.
I agree. He will.
Stay.
And
Nope,
then they
stay over
talked
there.
up against Cross saying, okay, well, he can also be Cross. And I have no doubt that both those matches will be fire all day, every single day, period. But then it got to the point where I was like, no, not this. Because I hate the only people to actually do this right as far as going into a big like event with two guys going against each other has been Shawn Michaels and John Cena going into WrestleMania 23. Because they went against each other, and the key thing about that is they went into WrestleMania not even holding the tag titles when they went out, and that was a good thing because it was about the WWE title, and that's all that mattered. Now, this has been beaten to death on the main roster and of course in the women's division where you have the women's champion, whoever it is on whatever brand, go with her opponent. As far as with Sasha now, currently her and Sasha and Bianca, I guess they're going in the Fastlane challenge, right?
Yes, and Nia is challenging Sasha Friday for the women's title.
Okay, so yeah. Not even gonna touch that, but
well, that's just rude.
But it's a segment that's been beat. Like, why is the champ involved in a tag feud with the tag champs? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And again, I get the whole the playing up and having the manipulation by Scarlett. Love that, by the way, with her manipulating into putting their tag titles on the line. This would have been fine had they not already have number one contenders in MSK.
Right.
And for me, it basically spoils everything. It's like, okay, well, clearly something's going to happen to where the tag titles don't change because they still have to face MSK. And if you put the titles on Finn and Cross, MSK is not beating either one of them unless there's a fuck finish involved. So,
indeed.
So you're basically just saying that this is a waste of fucking time. You could have just had a non-title match and just had them go against each other. That would have been fine too. So neither here nor there. They accepted, and the match got approved for later on that night. And so, okay, we get to see Finn and Cross as a tag team, which, just spoiler alert, I like the way they look as a tag team, just the overall aesthetic of it. But again, still too soon. Another place, another time, same place, another time. Just, again, maybe in the main roster we can have that. Just wink, wink. But we'll see. But our actual first match of the night was continuing the story between The Way and Dexter Lumis. And it was Austin Theory finally getting his one-on-one match against Dexter Lumis, continuing to play up the relationship that Lumis and Theory has had over the course of the past month, I guess. And I didn't mind this match. I could have done with all of the comedic stuff, towards the end of the match. But all in all,
that's fair.
Theory did look good in this match. And I wish The Way would have played more of a part in this match to where Theory could have came.
I wonder, was Candice and Johnny affected?
That's what I was thinking when you said it, because
I just remember that because Johnny was on the tablet. So I wonder, was Candice and Johnny affected by the whole COVID outbreak?
It could have been the case, but I think he would have benefited more by beating Lumis through a fuck finish rather than Lumis just beating Theory. Just that's my opinion, but because there was a point in the match where I thought Theory was gonna win. I think it was with the roll up. I can't remember, but Yeah, but after
Yeah,
that,
it was a roll up. Yeah.
okay.
So are we getting? So most likely, you think we're getting Gargano, Loomis, takeover?
Yeah, and I think that's where Johnny loses the title.
I can
Because
see that.
if he doesn't, I don't know who takes it from him. Because the thing is with Loomis is that as far as in this division, there seems to be a lot more heels than faces. Well, I'm sorry, credible faces. Because Ruff, he's a former North American champion, but if we're thinking about credible faces, Bronson Reed is probably the only one outside of Loomis and anybody else I really can't think of. Huh?
Kyle O'Reilly.
Kyle O'Reilly could go for it too, but I mean he's all wrapped up with.
Well, I'm talking about as far as credible faces.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So Riley and wow, why is complete
Reed, Ruff, Loomis?
Oh no, Roger Strong.
Oh yeah, Roddy's more likely gonna be a face now.
Yeah. So, but other than that, you pretty much have just heels for Loomis to go against, which would be if you want to put LA Reid into the factor, cool. But I don't think I think he's shooting straight for NXT champion. You still have Pete Dunne in the mix, but I think he's going to be in the main title picture. At this point, you have Santos Escobar because he's clearly losing to Jordan Devlin, but we'll talk about that later.
I don't know though.
You don't know?
We'll talk about that later. I don't know.
It'd be cool if he didn't.
We'll definitely get into that one, of course.
I mean,
I love that.
Yeah.
But clearly Loomis won. He
with that silence
made
that man sleep.
Made Terry go to sleep.
Made that man go bye.
Yeah.
He went to Betty bye.
He did go to Betty bye. I think what happened after that, I can't remember if there was I think it was Cole coming out.
Yeah, I think Cole came out.
Yeah.
And he basically, blamed Kyle O'Reilly for, helping him lose the match for the NXT championship. He then made more gripes about him getting his hands on him, and he was gonna regret it. Regal then came out, said that O'Reilly wasn't clear to be there last week, so he basically banned him from going to the CWC, made him stay at home. And then, of course, like clockwork, right when Cole started talking, O'Reilly popped up on the screen.
Via FaceTime or something.
He got on and basically, to paraphrase, basically stated that I know everywhere you go. So no matter where you go, I'm going to find you and I'm going to get you. Had no problem with that. I had a problem because, I'm going to wrap it all together because I don't want to jump back into it. So after Cole got mad, he started talking to Regal, which I like when he got outside of the ring and then went up to Regal and basically said, "You're not going to stop me. We're going to find a way to make this way." And then he walked off. Now, cut to later on during the night, you see Regal running up, and I don't know what altercation occurred because I don't know if it was O'Reilly trying to run Cole off the road or run him over.
That's what Cole kept saying, that he tried to run me off the road.
Yeah, so I didn't necessarily like that because I would have rather that not happen. I think I would have rather kept it inside the CWC where they had that little altercation and then had them then physically get into it maybe later. But that whole outside of the Performance Center stuff, I even like the nice touch of having them cursing because that's the one thing WWE lacks at times. A lot of these arguments don't sound like real arguments. Yeah.
They don't sound like real things people will say. Like, I'm not about to cut a promo on Lip and be like, "Hey, Sunday, I will beat you for that title and I will take that championship from you." And it's like, people don't talk like that to each other. Like, nobody talks like that to each other on a normal basis. Like, what the fuck is that? So literally, they was like, when Cole was like, "I'm gonna fuck you up, Roddy," or like, I'm not Roddy, Kyle, I'm gonna fuck you up, Kyle, and so like, that was like, oh shit, Let them do it. Let them do
Felt
it.
like a South Park episode. I felt like there just needed to be more beeps.
Right.
It's like Cartman and Kyle actually fighting.
Kim.
Do you think they're gonna have a? Do you think they're gonna have a normal one-on-one match, or you think it's gonna be some type of stipulation to their match?
I think Cole needs to take a nice page out of his girlfriend's book and do an unsanctioned match.
Ooh.
Or if they really want to do something cool, loser leaves NXT.
And then have Cole lose. Ooh.
And go to AEW.
No. You gotta give him a reason to go to AEW, which they don't do shit with him on the main roster. Then he can go.
Okay.
We don't want to say that yet, and they actually might do something with him on the main roster.
All right. Fair enough.
Right.
Enough. If they give him the Andrade storyline, he's got to go to AEW.
Okay,
if they give him 5 months of no action, yeah.
Now, if he goes to the main roster and they use him correctly, I'm all for it. Trust me, I'm all for it. But I just
I honestly, of all people to use right, they better get it done with Cole because he's been such an asset to NXT. Like if you fuck up his main roster run, it's gonna be something talked about for sure. Like
I will say this. If they fumble the ball with Cole, then there's not going to be any hope for any people going for the main roster going forward.
That's true.
I agree.
If they fumble the ball with Cole, it is going to be difficult.
If Cole leaves and then goes to AEW and they resurrect Adam Cole from BTE stories. Well, I'm not sure how privy y'all are to BTE or how far back it goes, but Cole was part of the Bullet Club at one point.
Poison.
They had to, exactly. They poisoned him. They had to kill him. When they actually first met up with Britt Baker, they're like, I'm sorry. She's like, you guys killed my boyfriend, you assholes. So she was like immediately healed to anything with the Bucks or Cody or anything.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so that'd be great to see that come back. But that's just me fantasy booking at this point.
Of course.
But yeah, it'd just be probably the biggest letdown of WWE's history.
Oh, absolutely.
I actually don't feel like I'm like exaggerating that one. I mean, of course.
No, you're not. I mean, because you gotta think. Look, I mean, Lip, I don't want to trigger you.
This is cool. It's cool.
But seriously, I do not want to trigger you. Let's just hypothetically go down a list of almost 10 people. Ricochet. American Alpha. I'm counting them as 2. American Alpha. Aleister Black.
Oh yeah.
Andrade. The only reason I might give Andrade a slight pass because they did make him US champion. But still, Andrade. That's already 4. Well, 5 since I'm saying American Alpha.
Yeah.
FTR. How do you fuck up the Revival?
It's okay.
And let's also put it into perspective. Let's go ahead and throw Neville in there.
Yeah, got to.
We can truly throw Enzo and Cass, regardless of how you felt about them. Enzo and Cass. If we want to keep it recent, EC3.
Yes.
If we want to throw in a 9th, hell, let's throw in Apollo Crews. He's just now starting to get something happening. He had to go heel, but he's just now getting something happening.
Yes.
Actually, let's really keep it real. I know I said 10. I love it to 9.
Keep going.
Let's really keep it real. Sasha, Bayley, Becky, Charlotte, Xavier Woods, and Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns are the only really success stories to come out of NXT.
And some of you may be thinking, oh, what about Asuka? No.
No.
What about KO? No. Come on, man.
No. And
KO. You know what? I'll list KO as success story. He has some weird storylines, but KO.
KO spots, yes, but KO.
Oh, and Big E. My bad, Big E. I keep forgetting Big E. Big E, Woods, the Four Horsewomen, KO, Reigns, Rollins.
Sammy?
Who?
Sammy?
No.
He's been featured, but he hasn't been. Once again, he had to go heel in order for people to really pay attention to him. But there hasn't really been too many success stories.
Oh no, I completely agree.
People who coming from, unless you're one of the women.
Yeah. And you can't even say Bianca right now because she hasn't won anything yet. Now they're starting to keep her okay, but she's still treading that line right now with this whole tag team shit.
And you know what?
I really don't know why they're fumbling with her like that either. But
the biggest woman let down in recent memory, you might think is Charlotte, Shayna Baszler.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, not Charlotte, Asuka, Shayna Baszler. Is the biggest woman let down
because
in recent memory.
I'm going to say this again, and this is the reason why. How do you have just not the first and only woman, the first and only superstar to go into an elimination chamber and eliminate every single competitor?
Not only eliminate, but submit it. She submitted
every competitor.
When Shayna Baszler,
okay, I didn't catch every elimination.
This was 2019.
Yeah, I remember that.
No, I'm sorry, 2020. 2020. This was last year. Yeah. And this was for #1 contendership for Becky Lynch. Shayna came in, I think, at like 4 or 5, if I remember correctly. And she single-handedly submitted every single one. And it came down to her and Asuka. And she submitted Asuka. She's the only superstar in the history of Elimination Chamber match to eliminate all 5 competitors, even to this day.
Jesus. You give her a record like
that. For her to lose to Becky Lynch at WrestleMania.
Yeah. And don't think
Becky can go on maternity leave.
Yeah, she's fine.
No. I'm just talking about story-wise. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh no, and thing is, Becky wanted Shayna to win the title.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But to tie it back to the original point, please don't fuck up Adam Cole. Please. Please.
I forgot why we were talking about all this, but yes, please, WWE, do not fuck up Adam Cole.
Do not. But even though that shit went on, we finally went into our second match, which was a tag match between none other than Breezango and Legado del Fantasma. Of course, we mean Mendoza and Wild, the resident tag team of Legado del Fantasma. Of course, they were accompanied by Santos Escobar, who was supposed to be on commentary, I guess, but didn't. He just really didn't talk.
I think something got mixed up.
This match wasn't bad for Legado del Fantasma. Breezango, they seemed a little off, but I actually enjoyed watching Wild and Mendoza work, and I love their finish, that Russian leg sweep with the Insecurity.
Yeah,
just the way that hits is really nice. But I'm not gonna go into the match like that because, again, like I said, it was more of a showcase that I like for Legado del Fantasma, and it helped Wild and Mendoza look strong. But this was really all for the arrival of Jordan Devlin, who had shown up before the match had started. And once the match was finished, Escobar had got on the mic and talked about Devlin, obviously, and stated how much that Santos was the actual cruiserweight champion and how Devlin was not the real cruiserweight champion. the one thing that I did like about this is that even when Devlin showed up, they still showed him as the Cruiserweight champion. Still had the belt.
Mm-hmm.
When he came out after Santos finished, Santos did finish talking, and then Devlin's music had hit. And when his music hit, even when they put on the graphic, they still showed that he was the Cruiserweight champion, which, of course, Sami Zayn would hate, because when he came back and never lost the Intercontinental Championship, they said, "Fuck you, we're not putting that on your graphic, so you don't get that." But they showed respect. They put respect on Jordan Devlin's name. So Devlin came out, got on the mic, and basically stated that Santos could stop filling in for him because he was back, and which I like
on that. No, that was nicely said,
because he was the true Cruiserweight champion, and that is what it is. But at the same time, he still challenged Escobar. No, he said no. Escobar actually retorted to him and said that he redefined what it meant to be a Cruiserweight champion, and he said he's not filling in because he is true champion, and they can go ahead and they can compete for it, which we already saw that coming either way. And so when he stated that, Devlin, what at first seemed to be not that bad of a headbutt, turned out to be more vicious than that, because he headbutt him, and then he pulled him into that ripcord German suplex, which fucking love. And after that, after he got out the ring, got his belt, of course, they cut back to Santos, and he had a mouthful of blood, which I was like, oh yeah. Good on that headbutt. So
that's what I said. I said,
I'm looking forward to this match mainly because Devlin is dope. He's dope, and he needs to be the one that wins. I hate the fact, of course, that Fandango had to lose, but they don't really lose anything from losing. And I think it's good to make Mendoza and Wild look strong in this, because MSK is still going to need some credible competition outside of GYV, because we already know GYV is their main rival, but they're going to need to defend that title against other credible teams that look good. So that's what I'm waiting for.
I know I heard you mention it, but boy, that damn Devlin got a square ass head.
Look.
Oh shit!
I kept saying that to myself too, because his like, nothing against Devlin. It's just his head is really oddly shaped, and it's not a bad odd. It's just odd. Like nobody's talking shit about it. It's just an oddly shaped head. That's it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And you did also mention too about his poor guy. And not only is that damn ripcord suplex amazing, but the name of it is amazing. The Devlin inside, or the Devil inside, one of the two is called. But gee, that man got it.
Yeah, and it's so seamless because like it's almost as if Santos wasn't expecting it, because he grabbed his arm and pulled him in. It was like just the transition from it is just nice.
Oh, well, you know that's how he hits it for real.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying. Just looking at it, I like it's how I feel about Chad Gable's Chaos Theory. It's like when you see it, it's just like, gosh, it's so beautiful. But anyway, let me not gush over that, because we're gonna see it when they go against each other, which I'm sure is gonna happen at Stand and Deliver, obviously. That's another match that's set up for Stand and Deliver right there, WWE main roster.
But Cruiserweight versus Cruiserweight. Who's taking it? Oh, speaking of Cruiserweight versus Cruiserweight, Jordan Devlin had him an opponent today.
He's defending his Cruiserweight championship.
He had Trent Seven was his opponent today. And not only that, but I want to give an applause for Trent Seven, because not only did he lose the weight, but he weighed in at 204 pounds.
All right. Good on you, Trent.
Yeah.
I'll say, okay, so let me preface this because I know I brought this up about the tag team championship match, about kind of knowing where it was going to go as far as the champs keeping their titles when they go against Finn and Cross. This is a different scenario, mainly because you have somebody who is a cruiserweight champion when there's another cruiserweight champion. So them kind of continuing the story along where it's like, okay, I'm still going to defend my belt because I'm the champ. It feeds the story. It actually serves a purpose when he defends that title. This with the tag titles, it doesn't serve a purpose. That's why it's a difference. And that's why you hear the difference where I praise this and I don't praise that. Because again, just like when I talked about them showing on the graphic where they showed Jordan Devlin and they still showed Cruiserweight champion, it's to show that he believes it and they haven't stripped him of the title. Again, y'all fucked over Sami Zayn. He should have got that graphic. He was the legitimate Intercontinental Champion and he had got his justice. But, hey, they did right by it, or rather he did right because he won that title. In that
he actually won it for real.
So either way, or rather defended it. I got you, Sammy. I got you. But yeah, this match. Now, Scoot, you said earlier that you think that Escobar is actually going to take it.
I don't know. Like I have a weird because it seems kind of interesting that I think Santos possibly could take it, and he'll be undisputed champ.
You think it will go by fuck finish, or is he going to win clean?
Well, he has cronies, and cronies are always a deciding factor. So I don't know. We'll see.
The crony, is that what you're saying?
What's up?
Oh,
Crony's gonna crony.
Speaking of which, because of the fact that Scoot, you actually do have Scooter El Zero Mero. It's funny because during Santos's promo, he called himself the Lord of Lucha Libre.
He did.
Ooh. I couldn't catch that line.
He did.
That's a
well, I don't know, but they've been kind of taking shots at each other because I don't know if y'all heard Paul Heyman's promo on Talking Smack. Oh,
no, I did not.
I don't know it verbatim, but he said Edge's best friend had to leave because he knew he was going to become a target for Roman Reigns.
Wow. You know what?
Then he said every one of these Christians are going to realize you don't piss off Roman Reigns, and you, Edge, just pissed off Roman Reigns. That was kind of what he said, kind of
little on the nose there, huh?
Oh yeah.
I heard there was another one where it was like somewhere in the writing that they talked about sparks flying or sparklers flying or some sort of thing like that.
Yeah. I forgot what was it said on.
Hold on, let me try and pull it up on my laptop.
But yeah, they've been kind of taking these little sneaky shots at each other.
Okay, my laptop is really messing up.
Being a little cheeky with each other.
That is quite cheeky.
Now, of course, before while Jaeger looks that up, I want to get into.
I had to completely reset this laptop for some reason. Like it completely froze up. Technology at its finest, people.
I want to get into the backstage interview with Ciampa because he popped up and he was wondering where Toothless Timmy was. And he found it oh so convenient that Alexander Wolf was also not around. So he wanted to deliver a message to the rest of Imperium and let them know that it was going to be a price to pay. He said people was going to get hurt. So that was going to be the precursor to what was going to happen later on when Tommaso Ciampa went against Marcel Bartel. But before that, before that happened, we had a pretty decent match between Dakota Kai and Zoe Stark, which, of course, I come on here and I gripe about Zoe Stark's ring attire. It still looks generic, but they have some color in it, so it did pop a little bit. I still don't like it, but we're progression over perfection. So I'm fine. This match was decent, but I like this match. I like this match because the outcome for me was the right outcome because Dakota Kai won. This was a good showing for Zoe Stark, but it was a better showing for Dakota Kai because it needed to happen. Because one thing that I hate that people do is when you have a tag team and one of that tag team is getting a push, you make the other person look very weak and you bring them down.
Yeah, I hate that too.
And with this,
WWE is great at that.
Exactly. And with this, I was happy because I was really clamoring for it. I was like, yo, Dakota needs to win this match. And when she got the win decisively and very clean, I was happy.
There was no Raquel interference.
Correct. And I was even happy about that.
I was gonna get those in.
So of course, and with the segue to Raquel, after the match, Raquel and Dakota were celebrating, and whose music decided to hit? Miss Io Shirai, the NXT Women's Champion,
the champ,
with a very familiar folder, one that we've always seen in any main roster and NXT contract signings. So of course, you kind of knew where this was going. She came out, handed it to Raquel.
Oh, wait. First, stared down Dakota, walked around Dakota, then got in Raquel's face.
Which I have a feeling that's a little like nod to something.
It is.
Has to be.
And I can only imagine what's gonna happen with that. I mean, honestly, I already stand firm on my prediction with Raquel. Raquel's gonna win. She's gonna go over Io. But I think that it's gonna feed into Dakota just a little bit, that she's gonna start to think that maybe, just maybe, that she's in the shadow of Raquel, which I think is gonna happen because prior to all this, it always seemed like Raquel was gonna pull away from Dakota. But I think it may cause some type of jealousy with Dakota to be like, you know, hey, I can do this too, or I can be that. So I think it might end up being Dakota that ends up breaking away from Raquel rather than the other way around.
Yeah.
So
I can do that.
So of course, after that commercial break happened, but when it came back, they had Raquel in the locker room being interviewed about, you know, this match. And same thing, Raquel is Raquel, basically stating that Io was the one that made a mistake by doing this because she basically signed away her title, paraphrasing, of course. And then Dakota came in, and Dakota said, we need to make sure that our name is strong as a tag team. So I booked us a match between Io and Zoe Stark. And at that point, I was like, oh, wait, Raquel's about to get mad about this. And Raquel started to get so you saw it just a little bit, but then Raquel,
a little bit.
Raquel understood. She was like, that makes sense to me, you know, to continue to look strong. And I was like, all right, cool. But then that's what creeped into my mind when I was like, okay, Dakota's going to be the one that actually ends this whole thing, to at least to throw the swerve out there, because everybody's going to think, oh, Raquel's going to win the title. She's going to be the one that pulls away from, because she's outgrown Dakota at this point. But that's not the case. I think Raquel's going to be the one that's loyal to a fault. And yeah, so we'll see what happens there. I know, Scoot, you know, you're all for this. It was it was a lot of Raquel.
Raquel wins that title. I'm marking out. That's all I'm saying. I'm going crazy in the house.
You hear that, NXT? You better stand and deliver that result.
I'm going crazy.
Now, of course, that's when we finally lead into the match between Tommaso Ciampa and Marcel Bartel, which the match in itself, I ain't worried about.
Let's just fast forward to the end.
I was more focused on the surprise of the night for me. Because, of course, Tommaso won, Widow's Bell, got that shit, whatever. Bam, done. But Imperium's music hit. And in my mind, I'm thinking like, okay, well, Alexander Wolf's gone. Toothless Timmy's gone. Are they about to show Toothless Timmy in some Imperial garb? Show him that he's part of Imperium? No, sir. No, ma'am. It was the ring general himself.
Yes.
The NXT UK champion, Walter.
You know what's funny? I always make fun about disclaimer for anyone. I do not feel this way. I do not. I'm not trying to get canceled or nothing.
Cancel that.
It's just a weird observation. Why every time I hear Imperium's music, it just seems like it's just racist to me. I don't know why. It just seems like some racism is about to happen when I hear Imperium's music.
That's okay, because I mean, it's just the same way of how I feel about Dexter Lumis looking like a cop ready to beat somebody. So
that is true. That is true. But like I said,
nothing against Dexter Lumis, but yeah,
it's just jokes. But when you see Imperium and the pose, the outfits, the music, it just screams like some war crimes or some atrocities are about to happen.
I'm behind this. I endorse this message.
But some atrocities did happen in the form of
a
monstrous chop to Tommaso Ciampa's chest. But before that, Walter walked down the ring, and of course you see Tommaso. He was like, "I've been waiting for this," and I'm like, "You and me both." You
exactly right.
And Walter took off his jacket, took off the belt, threw it down, walked to the ring.
Got to work.
He told the rest of Imperium, "Nah, I got this." Got up on the ring apron and then nudged his head to be like, "Nah, get him." They swarmed him. They got done on him. He got inside the ring and waited just for a quick second. Tommaso got up and down came the hammer of the ring general God, and you heard that audible slap to the chest, and all that did was remind me that Jesus Christ, when this match happens, I'm gonna feel bad for Tommaso and his poor pinned together neck, because
it's gonna be rough.
So bad.
It's gonna be brutal.
It's gonna be rough.
And
it's gonna be
so bad.
It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be a brawl.
And I'm gonna love every second of course, but
it's gonna be so bad. I'm gonna cringe just watching it.
I'm not gonna cringe. I'm gonna wince a few times though. Like,
I was gonna say it might be a couple of minutes.
I'm gonna see that first slap and I'm just gonna be like, just knowing that I would never want to take that in my life.
Right?
It's like a Big Show slap to the chest. You know, you just never want that frying pan to hit you.
Yeah, you don't at all.
I was happy to see Walter there, mainly because, again, it's more so catering to the fact that, okay, we need to make sure that we build this up for the benefit of Stand and Deliver. And again, more credit to NXT for doing this, because they already know, hey, this is where we want to go. We have this already built up. So now we just got to fill in the blanks and tell the story.
Oh, quick, since we're talking about Stand and Deliver. It was announced today that NXT UK is not going to be left out.
Oh, I love it.
That they're going to have an event I think that Thursday.
Okay.
So they're going to have their own kind of takeover. I think it's called NXT Prelude or something like that. But they're going to have an event during that WrestleMania week as well. So
all for it.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
But along with the build-up, we also have to get into the debut of LA Knight. But before that debut match is where the build-up came into play, because he had a little promo backstage as he was walking to the ring. And as he was doing his nice little transition, doing his whole promo, going to the ring, in the background, you saw Mr. Bronson Reed walk into the locker room of LA Knight to do who knows what. Find out later, of course. But again, it's the subtle nuances that they have going throughout the show where it's like, hey, you may not know this is happening, but you know this is happening. So again, main roster, you're not doing your job.
Small sidebar. What was I looking up again?
Huh?
Small sidebar. What was I looking up again earlier?
Somebody said something.
Oh, you said something about sparks or sparklers.
Oh yeah, there we go. Thank you.
Yes.
Please
there it is. So, of course, right after that, it went to commercial break, but then it came back. LA Knight came to the ring, and they decided to have a match with August Gray, which at the same time, I mean, I think, Scoot, you said that he was on 205 Live, right?
Yeah, I think he does a lot of his stuff on 205.
Yeah. Even when they said August Gray and I saw him, I still didn't even think that. I thought of, this dude looks like he's going to be a stand-in.
Well, remember, August Gray was the guy who stood up to Thatcher.
Yeah, but still.
Before they broke away.
He looks like somebody that got off the street at an indie event and said, you want to make a quick buck? Come wrestle LA Knight.
He did.
Like, he looks like a stand-in for the King of the Hill live action film and or show.
Damn.
Like, nothing against you, August. Like, I'm sure like you handle business in the ring, but like you look like a straight jobber, bro.
He kind of did. I'm not gonna lie.
Like, honestly, like, and I'm glad they used Bronson Reed in this, because I was like, this match shouldn't go this long, but they threw some theatrics into there to build up for Send and Deliver, and I was like, cool. And of course, Bronson Reed came out, and he had LA Knight's signature jacket, signature blue jacket, and he went to put it on, and as he put it on, I was like, he about to Hulk out of that jacket. I know it. I feel it. And of course, when he tried to pull the front side, it was like, oh, rip right there. Put on the other sleeve, and then he just decided to Hulk out real quick and rip that jacket. And of course, LA Knight got pissed. And at first, again, I thought just back to the first match between Theory and Loomis, I was like, I know they're not about to give August Gray a roll-up win over LA Knight, because it looked like that's what they were going to do. And then they didn't. I was like, all right, cool. And then, of course, LA Knight won.
Yes.
Fine. Don't scare us like that.
Did y'all notice LA Knight's finisher?
It seemed like wait, was it like the almost like the Dirty Deeds?
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. It was if you play your 2K games, that was an alternative version of the Dirty Deeds. Before he started doing the double arm DDT, that was, I think, the original version of the Dirty Deeds.
And see, that's why. So you have LA Knight doing the Dirty Deeds. You have Damian Priest doing the Crossroads.
Crazy. Lights out. Oh, no, Hit the Lights. That's the official name.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Hit the Lights.
Hit the Lights.
I knew it was something stupid.
Yeah, Hit the Lights.
Why was it renamed to that again?
Reckoning.
Oh, Reckoning. That's right. Thank you.
Because they didn't want to make sure Damian Priest wasn't giving anybody the Reckoning.
They didn't just want to reveal Reckoning's name to be Mia Yim.
They should have. Again, other people that they've done wrong throughout the,
That's right.
The list continues.
Justice for me. Yeah.
Justice for me. Yeah. Justice for Keith Lee.
Justice for Keith Lee.
Justice for Keith Lee as well.
Justice for Keith Lee to be bare chested again.
Right?
They put that man in a bodysuit. They had no reason to.
Like, come on.
But of course, next up was now they did a segment with Cameron Grimes where they did this Photoshop shit of him being on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Which normally I would hate it, but something about it I just found charming in a way.
There you go.
But it is what it is. But they still continue to keep him on the show without him being on the show, which I like. So that's fine. But we roll into the main event. The tag team titles are on the line.
Well, hold on. Before we get there, don't forget the grizzled young vets had a promo against MSK.
Because they had a vignette of MSK, which of course again NXT does very well when they don't have any talent on the show. They still keep them in your minds. And GYV continuing on what of course I feel is going to be, as my prediction, as the rivalry of the next 2 years between MSK and GYV.
I see it.
They did not fail to deliver because of course GYV let them know they are not going to forgive or forget. Somebody getting hurt, and I know it's going to be. And this is what I love, because I have a feeling that they're not going to allow them to have a match with each other, or even, I mean, they may have some type of brawl, but they're not going to have an official match with each other until after MSK win those tag titles.
Yep, I can agree.
And that's the best course of action. Thank you, Hunter. Thank you, NXT staff. That's the best thing for y'all to do. Period. Now, on to a tag team match that really doesn't matter and has some type of stupid repercussions within this.
Can we just skip to the end of this match?
Go right ahead. I'll let you take it, Scoot.
Finn hits that John Woo drop kick on Lorcan. Lorcan crashes into Scarlett. Finn goes to check on Scarlett, then realize, oh shit, I gotta finish the match. And as he goes check in on Scarlett, Cross gets up and realizes my lady is down. He goes in. It beats up on Finn for a little bit. Lorcan hits that vicious running European uppercut. Gets the 3, so the champs keep their belts and they leave. Well, somewhat leave. Cross gets back in and starts just beating the shit out of Finn. Because he told Finn earlier, you don't know what it's like until I squeeze the life out of you.
Jesus Christ.
Squeeze that life out of you, then you will know. And boy, he was putting the hurting on Finn, and then Scarlett stops Finn, and Scarlett stops Cross, and was like, wait, no. Finn, everything is fine, and you can see Scarlett with her other hand wave on Cross, and Cross just, and until we get an official name for that move, I'm gonna just call it the cerebellum, because it's so Cross hits the cerebellum on Finn, and then Scarlett kindly puts the belt over Finn's body. TikTok, Finn, and she tells him, "You can't." What she said? You can't go against fate, or something like that.
She said, "I told you, everything happens for a reason."
Yeah,
and we know the outcome. It's going to be a hell of a match, and I'm going to love it. But at the end of the day, Cross goes over, and Finn.
I still don't know. I think Finn might go over so Cross can get promoted.
Ooh,
and I think LA Knight might be Finn.
see a strong similarity between Knight and Finn. Definitely. No. Like definitely like a closer body type matchup. Like I mean,
now the reason I agree with you, Scoot, on that end is because of what the talking points that we've had up to this point were. Finn going through all these wars back to back to back, and going against Cross is going to be like the one thing that just breaks him down, where it's like, you know what? And LA Knight comes like a vulture and just picks the bones off of Finn. Yeah.
You know, I don't want them to do it, but I kind of want them to do it. I honestly think NXT needs to have their own Money in the Bank.
Ooh. They have enough talent for it, for sure.
They have enough talent for it now. Especially now. Oh, before we finish this, we did skip that Shotzi and Ember are going to fight Jessica Maya and Aaliyah next week.
I mean, I was about to bring that up myself. But
we did kind of skip that. So I do want to bring that up, especially for Jaeger. So Jaeger, if you want to gush over Shotzi right quick, here you go.
No. I do that in my private time.
Yeah, basically, they came out and they talked about how it was important for them to win the tag titles. Shotzi talked about celebrating it with her dad, Jaeger's father-in-law. Eventually, who knows?
We'll get there.
And how just this was like the greatest achievement of her career at this point, because we already know Shotzi eventually is probably going to win the women's championship. So that's later down the line. Right now, she is going to be women's tag champ, and they're going to hoist those titles over their heads for I don't want to say a very long time, but long enough to make the belts mean something.
Yes.
Okay.
Because at this point, the only team I honestly see beating Shotzi and Ember is going to be the Way.
Yeah.
Because there's really no other teams outside of Casey Catanzaro and
Caden Carter, right? Carter.
Yeah, that will take those sides, but I don't think they're going to take them off of Ember and Shotzi like that. Because even if it's a womanly match where it's just competitive and just faces versus faces, I see Catanzaro and Carter taking them off of the Way. And I think that's the way that it's going to, no pun intended, I think that's the way that it's going to go. So, but yeah.
But yeah, but to the main event scene, yeah, I can totally see Finn possibly keeping the belt just for Cross to get promoted. And that way we can go ahead and see Cross beat the shit out of Braun Strowman or something. I don't know.
As long as it doesn't involve him like doing the which way does he go shit, I'm okay with it.
You know what? And the only reason that I think that you might be right, Scoot, is because I think after WrestleMania, that's when they're going to start having fans back into attendance.
I think so too.
That's when I think it's going to benefit Cross anyway, especially with that entrance. And because Cross is going to Raw once he goes to the main roster. He's going
most likely,
Like that's inevitable. Finn goes back to Raw when he inevitably goes back, but I think Finn goes to UK for a stint. And he beats Walter, and then somebody else takes it from Finn. One of the tenured guys in UK to just give a change of dynamic, because Walter, I don't know if Walter stays in NXT UK once he leaves. I mean, once he loses.
Unless they want him on the main roster at some point, but I don't know.
True, but they'd have to take him and all of Imperium.
That is true.
Because I don't see them doing Walter right if he's by himself.
But yeah, overall, I enjoyed the setups that's about to happen with NXT.
Same.
I enjoy how it was setting up for Stand and Deliver.
Oh yeah, and that's what I appreciate. Because like, if you're not going to give me like a full-on wrestling show, especially if you have a lot of your talent missing due to, unforeseen circumstances, basically the pandemic or whatsoever, I'd rather you still cater to the show itself and then just build. I mean, you don't need people to build a fucking story. And NXT does it so well because they've done it so well when they had an hour-long show and they had to rely on having people not on the show.
Yep.
So, again, perfectly fine with this. But I will ask this, though. Where the fuck is Velveteen Dream?
Yo,
I think his case keeps coming back.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
Like,
that's the only thing I see because he's not hurt. I think that whole case thing is still playing him in a sense.
That's what I'm saying. I think I haven't heard any attention about his case, but WWE has to be just like making damn sure that nothing new is coming up about him.
Because obviously everything must have been inconclusive for Austin Theory because he's been back, he's been here. Obviously, I think that case must be proven troublesome.
That's what I'm saying, because even Riddle had the same issues too, but he's fine. So there may be some validity to Dream.
I think it's that.
That's Patrick Clark. Sorry.
I know, right?
Shame.
You had so much promise.
Don't get Rich Swan, man.
Well, I mean, a lot of people want to get Rich Swan because he at the top of the.
Yeah, but I mean, the reason he got the boot from WWE, though.
Oh yeah, well that was, I mean, that was with his wife. So
yeah,
and even then, they're still together. So
yeah.
Jeez.
Well, unfortunately, he lost his job because of it. But yeah.
But I mean, look at where he's at now, though. So
absolutely. Congrats to Rich Swann.
Congrats to Rich Swann becoming champ.
But
the unified belt.
But also congrats to holding it just for a little bit because you're about to lose that to Kenny. That's inevitable, sir. I'm sorry.
Ooh, did y'all hear that promo that Don Callis cut?
Which one?
On Impact this last Tuesday.
Oh no.
Oh man, he pretty much called Rich Swann exactly that. He's like, congratulations on this belt, but I mean, you're just a placeholder for the god of pro wrestling.
I'm not trying to sound like you, Callis.
That's why I was wondering if you had caught it because you said exactly what he said.
God damn it! Fuck you, Callis. Anyway, well, that was NXT in a nutshell. Scoot, you got any news on anything on the AEW?
I guess we can officially say that Leila Hirsch is officially All Elite. So
yeah.
Legit, Leila Hirsch officially got her.
Wait, he's just now All Elite?
That's crazy.
Like I think as of Monday or Tuesday, it's official.
Wow.
Yeah.
What held her back?
I know, right? Let's see other AEW news. Well, before I get into this one, I'm gonna throw a question. So I saw something that has said, even if you're paid, who is a wrestler you will not cheer for or support?
Even if I'm paid?
Even if you're paid money, you will not support said wrestler.
Huh.
It has to be one?
I mean, it was on Facebook, and there was some people posting tag teams.
Oh, yeah, I got a tag team.
Oh, God.
Everrise.
Yeah, there it is.
Everrise. You couldn't pay me money to root for Everrise. They couldn't do anything that could make me root for them. Everrise. Everrise should not exist in WWE, NXT, AEW,
Jesus.
New Japan, ROH. Hell, they shouldn't even exist in Impact. They shouldn't exist in CZW unless they are getting their asses handed to them in some type of barbed wire match where they are getting the shit in of their asses kicked. Listen, no amount of money, Fuck.
I'm about to get the conceited face in a minute.
I'm about to call Tony Schiavone, man. I want to hear him get you on this promo you're cutting.
Jeez.
Fuck Everrise. Fuck Everrise. Fuck Everrise.
Damn.
Carry on.
That's a burial.
You know what? I was gonna, I thought about it, and I was gonna say Oldberg, but Oldberg is part-time.
True.
But since if I had to throw out a full-time wrestler, no, it's not fair. So I'm not gonna say that.
I'm trying to even think about if there's anybody that I just would not want to watch.
That's the thing.
Doesn't matter like what you're doing. Like I'm just thinking about I'm getting paid to watch insert product name here, and for some reason I cannot take the money to watch this guy. You know.
And I'm trying to figure out who would that be for me. Like, I really don't know if I have somebody.
I don't think I do. I don't think anybody's that bad.
Okay.
Everrise is that bad. Probably worse.
Marco Stunt and Luchasaurus.
Oh, what? What? Like,
none, I understand.
I get it if you just don't like watching ragdolls be ragdolls, but I mean, come on, Luchasaurus?
Yeah, no. That's my answer.
Marco Stunt and Luchasaurus, not just Marco Stunt.
Mm-hmm. I went on record by saying Jungle Boy should split from that trio.
You are.
Yeah, I think even if I was paid to, I don't think I would want to watch Marco Stunt nor Luchasaurus.
Wait, you wouldn't watch Marco Stunt versus Leon Ruff?
Oh man, you know that you would sell at a stadium for Cheeseburger versus Leon Ruff. Come on.
I'll watch that.
You'll watch that, but you won't watch Marco Stunt versus Leon Ruff.
Yes.
I just wanted to get that one on paper.
Yeah, I think Marco Stunt and Luchasaurus. Yeah. I mean, I was gonna say my other answer, but then I thought about that. No, I can actually enjoy their matches, but
you were gonna say the Young Bucks, weren't you?
You're damn right. But,
God damn it! God damn it!
It's funny.
I'm mad that I know that.
A lot of comments were saying them.
Wow.
A lot of the comments were saying the Young Bucks.
You know what? You can't pay me to watch another Shorty G match. Any match with Shorty G. And I don't mean Chad Gable. I mean Shorty G. That was terrible. It was an angle that needed to die a long time ago. Just it went on way too long. We
said men. Are there any women that fits this?
Like any era or like current era?
I want to stick. Well, no, I guess you could say any era, but I'd rather stick with current.
Okay, let's stick with current.
Damn it.
Any women right now that I could not be paid to watch?
You know, earlier I slipped in Charlotte Flair, but I can't say that because that's just the way she's been pushed. She actually is a credible talent. So, yeah, I can still root for Charlotte. NXT Charlotte all fucking day. But, fuck. Talent right now.
That even if you was paid, you could not watch them.
You know what? Whatever the fuck that thing that Brandy was trying to do, yeah, I'll go with that.
Is Brandy considered talent?
Yes.
She's wrestled.
Yes,
that Nightmare Consortium or whatever the fuck it was.
Collective.
Thank you.
Well, fuck. Yeah, because you know what? Yeah. I'd have to say Brandy. Sorry, Brandy. If you
Wait,
want this,
all three of us can't say the same answer.
you're right.
No.
Okay. Fair enough.
Let's be fair. I'll be fair. I said the group, whatever that group project was. I don't want that.
The Nightmare Collective.
Yes, I do not want the Nightmare Collective.
Brandy, you beautiful. You really are. I love you, but you really don't have to be on the screen all the time.
I wouldn't
promise
say
you.
she's a bad wrestler, but I
No, she's
mean,
not. No. She doesn't have to be on the screen.
but
once
you see,
again,
but that's exactly why I say I can't say Brandy. Like I have to say the
yeah,
Nightmare Collective.
like I said, but once again, I can enjoy Brandy unlike the internet, because when I was talking about Lucha and like literally, quick spoiler, I almost fast forward that match.
What?
And I almost fast forward that match.
Which one?
One.
The main event?
No, I'm talking about that 10-man tag.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Because you gotta think. So if I'm choosing Marco Stunt and Luchasaurus to where even you paying me, I don't want to watch it. I don't think there's a woman I feel that way with, that even if you pay me, I don't want to watch this woman wrestle.
Brie Bella.
Bella Twins in general. There you go.
Ooh.
No, hold on, wait. I'll give some credit to Nikki Bella, because she
could, but nope.
Later on, like her very last run, I give her credit.
I don't care. Nope.
But
the Bella Twins. But
so
since they're not current though, technically.
Damn it.
Damn. We can all say the Nightmare Collective. Like I said, I have no problem with Brandy. Look, man, she's going in to win. Ah, shit.
This would be the perfect time to say Jade, but honestly, spoiler alert, I actually enjoy Jade Cargill.
Same.
We'll get
since
to that.
all of the other BS is gone now.
Yeah. Wait, Vicky Guerrero's not a wrestler anymore. Fuck.
Actually, okay. I'm gonna say this. It's not official, but she's teetering.
You think so?
She's teetering, and I want to say maybe Riho for me.
Riho.
Wow.
Only because the way she was booked at first. She was booked so damn strongly to where it's like, I really don't want to watch another Riho match like that.
You know what? I'll say Aaliyah.
Okay.
That one was fair. If it wasn't the Nightmare Collective, I would have said Aaliyah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, Aaliyah is probably good, but I mean, her being on it's also it coincides the way that she's treated too.
Yeah.
The Robert brand is trash, but when she's on screen, it's almost like she's a super glorified jobber. Like she's somebody who you look at and be like, she got to be somebody, but she's just enhancement talent.
Yeah. So, it's
like
if you were to look at Leila Hirsch right now and then she started jobbing out, you'd be like, why? Why is she?
Leila Hirsch, female Kurt Angle. She will be.
Ooh, I want to see that.
Legit, Leila Hirsch.
Yeah.
Wait till they start getting fans in attendance.
Now, I don't know if y'all heard about the things that went on between our favorite wrestling manager, Jim Cornette, and Miro.
Yes.
Ooh,
and
I did not.
I disagree with Cornette to an extent.
Did you hear Cornette's reasoning on his past podcast?
Now, I heard, no, you know what? I didn't hear. I know about the Twitter exchange, but I know that he was going to address it on this podcast. That I did not hear.
Okay. Well, Jaeger,
please inform.
The issues with Mr. Jim Cornette is that he tends to say outdated things, and regardless, I think the problem with Jim Cornette, he thinks that just because you're a jobber or a mid-carder or main event, your feelings can't get hurt. Like, if you're a jobber and I'm saying negative things about you, you're supposed to just take it and go on about your business.
Mm.
Well, one of the issues is It's 2021. We all know there are things you can't say about women, period, let alone they don't fly, especially in today's society.
Ask
So,
our favorite guy over at Wrestling Observer.
right? Oh yeah, hey, you know what? It's been a while. Hey, still fuck you, Bruce Mitchell. It's been a minute,
That's a forever deal, man. You can't get rid of
But
that.
so when Jim Cornette talks about, he calls Miro, he calls Kip, and he usually calls Penelope Pit Stop.
That's fucked up.
Yes.
So when he said Penelope Pit Stop, I knew he was talking about Wacky Racers because there was a character named Penelope Pit Stop. Many people thought, I guess, pit stop mean a bad
Pit stop
thing.
hooker. Anyways,
that's what people were thinking, but I knew he was talking about Wacky Racers.
Well, he's old as fuck, and nobody knows about Wacky Racers right now.
But the problem is, it's the other thing he called Penelope that Miro took offense to.
Yeah.
He says, Pip comes out looking like a middle schooler with his slutty girlfriend.
And that's
And that's what Miro took offense to. And Miro took offense to, I think it was like Jim Cornette called Penelope slut again. I will come down with the wrath of God on you.
Oh shit.
I'll even drive to your basement or something. And apparently on Kip's Twitch, he said something about, I know we're all feeling this way, but trust me, I can't wait till he dies too. I think the world would be a lot better once he dies.
Damn.
I would say all that. I mean, I think they're
it's a little extreme.
It was, and that's what because Cornette was reading it, and Cornette was like, "Ooh, that gave me goosebumps back to when I used to get my death threats back in the '80s." He was like, maybe Tony Khan need to put that boy in some therapy because that was a little extreme.
Now,
but his rebuttal. Go ahead.
No, so he wants to like add salt to the wound here.
So his rebuttal was basically, she comes off slutty, I guess. Put it this way, he wasn't really apologetic about it. Let's just
he tried to apologize without apologizing. Gotcha.
No, it wasn't even trying to apologize.
He was like, "It is what it is."
He basically left it. It is what it is.
Wow.
Because it was on his Jim Cornette drive-through experience, and he kind of started off the show talking about it, and literally he left it at it is what it is. I said what I said. Deal with it.
That's amazing.
And that's the thing. Even in his tweets, when he responded to Miro, he was talking tough, like, you don't want a piece of this or whatever. And then when I read that, it immediately brought me to that video that he had when Santino confronted him.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't want that smoke. So I'm like, if you didn't want that smoke with Santino, you damn sure not didn't want that smoke with Miro. So
that dude is a 300-pound Bulgarian, man. You don't want any of that.
You can talk.
Then of course he starts talking about how those three should be lucky that anybody's talking about them because nobody's talking about them. Like even on AEW, they're not even being talked about, or this, that, and the third. So yeah, it wasn't. To me personally, he really should have apologized for saying the slutty thing. The Penelope Pit Stop thing.
He definitely should.
But he should apologize because the thing is that that's the man's. Is it really his wife now, or still just his?
I don't know if they got married.
I think they are. Hold on.
Well, regardless, that's still the man's lady.
Yeah.
And for you to say that she's slutty, that's horrible implications on Penelope's. And of course, he brought up the fact that, well, she was with Joey Janela, and it's like that doesn't matter.
Yeah, it really doesn't mean anything. I mean, you can say
what the hell? Did he really try to defend himself?
He kind of did. Like,
that's amazing.
If y'all want to, the thing is, he said some very crazy shit in a sense. If y'all want to go listen to it, it was on drive-through. It was, maybe you might have to skip a couple of minutes, but he got to it early. He got to it kind of early and spent a considerable amount of time talking about it. But once again, it should have just been, you know what, my bad. I shouldn't have said that about your lady or about the lady. Period.
Should have just been some more sensitivity training in that aspect.
Yeah.
I agree.
But that's mainly the AEW stuff that's mainly the AEW news I kind of have. It wasn't really too much going on in AEW land like that. So
yeah, AEW show in itself, it was kind of 50-50 on my end. Mainly it was just kind of meh. Not to say that it was bad. It was just the only things that were of like watch worthy in my opinion were the things that we were anticipating from the previous week's show. And then of course a surprise. But as far as like the matches themselves, they were okay, but they weren't like mind blowing. It just seemed like a throwaway show outside of the certain things they were going to build as far as with the already feuds that were already going on. So
the already concurrent storylines.
Correct. So of course we opened up the show. They didn't waste any time. Cody Rhodes and Penta El Zero. The match itself, not bad. Kind of what you would have expected
out of these two. Yeah.
And
I don't like the fact that Cody had to hit so many damn finishers and finisher like maneuvers. Because the thing is that I would have been cool if they would have been like, yeah, Cody had to do this because of the shoulder, but they didn't sell.
They're really like giving up on the whole shoulder bit for some reason.
I mean,
I'm not sure.
Like commentary sold it throughout the match here and there because they would talk about it, but it wasn't really a prominent talking point.
Wait. You know what? My bad to cut you off. Lil. Did anybody watch Dark Elevation?
I caught a little bit of it, mainly that promo that Tony Khan cut.
Most of the people I was seeing commenting on it just was like, it feels like Dark.
So
it does. Well, I mean, I feel like that was mainly because night one showcased a lot of Dark talent on Dark Elevation. Mm-hmm. So I guess they're trying to figure out what their roster is going to be on Dark Elevation before they can get to like finding a true home for everybody.
Okay.
But no, overall it was pretty good. The biggest draw, like I was just talking about, was the fact that the Seidel brothers had a match, and then Kenny shows up with the Good Brothers. Yeah, was it the Good Brothers? Yeah, he showed up with the Good Brothers, I believe, and then told Matt Seidel, "Hey, you're pretty good. You know, if you can beat Michael Nakazawa, then you can fight me, and if you fight me, then I'll give you a chat at the championship."
Yeah. Okay. So I'm glad that you stated that because I was gonna. My question was this whole title eliminator challenges that they had because I was like, clearly they're not promoting this like they should. So I'm assuming it's like a Dark thing, but
yeah.
Yeah, I need this to be something that's more established because when they threw it up on Dynamite, I was just like, wait, when the fuck did this happen?
Because, the Matt Seidel versus Kenny? Yeah.
Because it was like, they were like, well, he's going to, because he won the title eliminator. I was like, okay, but.
You see,
and then the first episode of Elevation ended up being 2 hours instead of 1 hour.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it ended up being 2 hours. Like I saw some of the results. That's the reason why I didn't care to watch it because some of the matches were like matches you would see on Dark. Like it was still big talent going against talent that we really haven't signed necessarily yet.
True.
So that's the main reason why I didn't watch Elevation. Like I was seeing that Paul White did an okay job. They was kind of like
he was all right on commentary.
Yeah, the commentary was 50-50 on him. But the biggest thing that happened was Kenny showing up.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's probably by design. I mean, it's the first Elevation.
Yeah.
So.
Which to wrap up, sorry, let me just say, of course, Matt Seidel beat Nakazawa. But however, Kenny comes out and is like, you know what? You got me all like excited. You got me all like juices flowing. Like I'm pumped. I want to have a match right now. So let me have that match that I promised you right now.
Mm-hmm.
This will be Matt Seidel's like second match of the night, going into his third. Kenny's first.
Mm-hmm.
So then Kenny like easily beats the crap out of him.
Yeah.
Then Tony Khan comes out and it's like, yeah, no.
9 days from tonight.
Exactly.
9
Like,
days.
I don't know. Tony Khan sounded like a pissed off like fan child. Like he kind of sounded like he was about to cry. Like, I don't know what kind of like pissed off. I mean, to me, he did. I don't know
Somebody
what kind of
pointed
like
out.
pissed off
Somebody did.
voice.
Somebody did point out that they kind of did the woman pointing with the cat meme.
Yeah, yeah. It kind of felt like one of those.
That they kind of did that with Kenny and Tony, but
It kind of felt
days
like
from
it.
tonight. 9 days.
In 9 days, 9 days, Kenny. In 9 days. Like he said it 3 times, 4 times easily. But yeah, no, it was a little pretty solid storytelling, I guess. Again, just so we can get more eyes on it.
I mean, I'm fine with the matches that they have, especially for the title eliminator. I just wish that they did more build up for potentially credible challengers, because we already know that AEW is full of talent, but showcase it in a way to where it's like, okay, this title eliminator is a big thing. Who's going to be the two challengers that challenge for the opportunity to challenge the champion?
True.
I think like it's in a way, to me, it's refreshing. It's refreshing to do something outside of an already established storyline, to where it's like, okay, I want my shot. I'm next up, and then eventually throw a wrench in there to where it's like whoever wins that actually ends up winning the title. Because the people that I've seen to win this title eliminator have been people that you would automatically think, okay, no, they're just cannon fodder. They're not going to win. And
right.
It would be a nice little just like nod to any previous thing. And the only game I'm shooting to right now is when Chris Jericho won the WWE champion or WWF championship from Triple H in the first match of Raw that Monday night, where I like, as a teenager, I marked the fuck out because I was like, oh shit, Jericho just won. And of course, he took it away from him by the end of the night and didn't matter. But I digress. Moments like that and this title eliminator stuff would make sense to even build that up. And again, that's just my little gripe on it. AEW, keep doing what you're doing. I'm sure it's going to go wherever you want it to go. But
as long as your pyro works. Sorry, I'm going to get that shot in for the next, I guess, month of relevancy.
Yeah. But I guess back to the original thing we was talking about.
Yeah, the Penta match.
Like I said, yeah. I kind of wish Penta would have had won it.
Same.
To give it something different.
Yeah, I would have assumed that I mean, especially when they talked up the shoulder here and there, I figured that he would have. I don't know what it does for Cody to win this match over Penta, because it seems kind of throwaway, because I thought they were going to kind of build this up and save this match for later. I didn't know they were going to just go ahead and blow their load like right then and there. But yeah, Penta lost, and then he attacked Cody afterwards. And then, of course, Nightmare Family came out. And it felt like it was just meant to build up more of the dissension in the Nightmare Family between everybody else loyal to the Nightmare Family and QT Marshall. Because it was funny, because I laughed a little bit, because Penta was leaving after they came and rushed the ring, and QT Marshall came out, and he looked at Penta, and he just casually walked the fuck out there. And I'm just like, and as he was walking out, he was just like mouthing to Cody, "Are you okay?" And he was telling us, "Is he okay? Is he okay?"
Yeah.
Like, he was still walking casually. I was like, QT, you're gonna gain. You're gonna get me in a second if you keep doing this. Like,
So this is the thing. This is the thing. Does QT just leave the Nightmare Family, or does QT like joins a group or starts his own? So they got factions.
That would be interesting.
Like, what happens with QT?
He should not make a faction. That's for damn sure. He also, I don't think there's a faction that he can join.
There's one that comes to mind.
Say which one?
There's only one that really comes to mind for me, and that would be just because of the history between it, but our newly formed faction that we have.
No,
currently
not go to the Pinnacle. Not go to the Pinnacle, which of course we will.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler.
That's the name of the group.
But I'm just saying that would be like if he goes to another faction, that's the only one that would make sense to me because of like he has the connection from the Nightmare family to MJF, blah blah blah.
Makes sense.
But I don't necessarily want that to happen.
No, not at all.
No.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I see this leading to a match between him and Dustin, obviously.
Yes.
But where QT goes after this, I'm not sure. I don't know where he really fits in. So I think that's really the only mystery in that whole thing is what happens to QT after all of this. Because one thing I would hate for him to lose this match or win this match and then just kind of go off and do nothing. That's the only gripe that I have because right now I'm fine with his character. His character works. And a lot of people didn't pay attention to because I think Scoot, you were the one that pointed this out when he did his when Lee Johnson did his interview and QT Marshall was kind of left out of like the thinking process when Lee Johnson won his first match on Dynamite.
Yeah. Like QT was right there.
And he was looking like, what about me?
Yeah, exactly. He gave the fuck me then kind of reaction.
So I mean, we'll just have to wait and see where this goes. I mean, again, I'm not sure, but yeah. After that was, of course, the two best promos in AEW right now.
Oh my god.
Mox and Eddie Kingston. They play so well off of each other.
They really do.
And it's so, and of course, anybody who has like really close friends and y'all just talk, it felt like that. It felt like two people who just basically playing off each other, just talking about what was going to happen. And I like how they were able to.
Mox said, yeah, I bought that Chop Talk and Shock Mania too. I still want my money back.
I love how they transition Mox and Kingston out of the title picture with Kenny into this whole feud with the Good Brothers and potentially Kenny as well, but primarily just as far as like this blood feud rather than it being about the title. I love that because in a sense, and of course we'll talk about it when the match happens, it integrated into a whole nother feud and storyline that's connected to this. And I love how everything is just very, very seamless because, and again, I always harp back to the Attitude Era, but the Attitude Era did the same thing in WWE a long time ago, where you would have the shit with The Rock, the shit with Stone Cold, the shit with Shawn Michaels, and all of it will kind of just intertwine with one another without it feeling like it intertwined with one another. It just kind of just made sense. But neither here nor there. It's the fact that their promos just work when building up something. Of course, spoiler alert with the tag match, I didn't really care for it. It just did not work for me. But it served its purpose. And Scoot will probably love to hear that because he does not care for the way Moxley wrestles at all.
Is that why he's gone?
But you know what? On some real shit, since we're kind of talking about the tag team match right now, I'm not really caring for the Good Brothers being with Kenny. I'm kind of preferring the Good Brothers when they was with AJ more than anything.
That makes sense.
I mean, I think they were like I think they were primarily with AJ when they were with Bullet Club, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, for those who don't know, Good Brothers their tag titles to Finn Juice.
It's good to see my boy Juice get a W.
I bet he got.
He got a W, all right.
I bet he did. He got greeted handsomely from Tony, I'm sure.
Whew. So, yeah. Tony time.
Even when she ain't on the show, it's still Tony time.
100%.
Apparently.
But I actually kind of appreciated this match mainly because of Mox and Kingston with them whole being so injured, and then the whole them getting beat up afterwards. But
before and after, because when Eddie came out during his entrance, the Good Brothers attacked him.
Wait, did we skip some stuff before we got to this tag match?
Oh, we did miss.
Yeah,
we skipped.
That's funny. You know, it's funny because when you started talking about it, I was like, "Damn, I guess we were talking about the tag match." I didn't even take into it.
We'll get it. We skipped some stuff.
Hold that thought.
Yeah.
Actually, after that promo, we actually got into a women's match. Of course, the aforementioned Jade Cargill against.
There it goes. Yeah.
Okay, now there were some story beats in this as well, but that was after the match, and I actually do like the way that they're building it. But before that, Jade, like I said before, her overall package, I love. Her look, yes. Her charisma, her presentation, her theme, her entrance, all of that. Good. She is going to win that women's championship eventually. Probably
and
sooner
you know
than
what?
later.
And I'm glad that the match wasn't that long.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Another thing. She, of course, Danny Jordan got some type of offense in, but the way that she got her offense in did not hurt Jade at all. It actually helped Jade in the long run. And because Jade had a chance to taunt throughout the match, and they kept it short. It's what y'all should have did with Xia Li in NXT. But again, no gripe. It's just Jade. But
no shade, but you know, this is what you should have done.
Damn, I should have said that actually rhymes. No shade, just Jade. Anyway.
Ooh.
But
Solid.
of course, Jade won. And as she got out the ring, they did pan to Red Velvet, which I do like the fact that they're still kind of harping on that whole feud that they have going on, because it makes so much sense to me. Because
Red Velvet,
that they're gonna push Red Velvet some more.
Wait, did they say on commentary that she was #1 contender?
Did they?
I'm pulling it up.
I think on commentary, I think they said Red Velvet was #1 contender.
I'm pulling up the AEW standings.
I mean, her win-loss record is very good, just for one. But I don't. If that's the case, okay. So hold up. Sorry, AEW. If that's the case, why have we not heard of Big Swole? I get that.
Oh my God!
Scoot text us with the update on Big Swole. Hope you get better. Hope you feel better.
Yes.
She did wrestle on Elevation, I think.
She did a match on Elevation. That's what threw me off. I was like, wait, aren't you sick? What's going on?
Swole had a match on Elevation?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, she had a match on Elevation.
Okay, wait. Yeah, you got the rankings up?
Do you want to see the you want me to tell you all the top 5 right now?
Please. Starting with 5.
Starting with 5. I'm gonna just go ahead and do the women's, but I'll tell you all the rest. Actually, you know what? Since we're on the women's, I'll save the women's for last. Top 5 for the men's singles. Number 5 going up, Miro. Cody. All right, sorry. I'll tell you their ranking anyways. Miro at 5 at 2-0. Cody at 4 with 3-1. Moxley at 3 with 3-1. Hangman at 3-0. And at the top is Pac at 3-0.
Okay.
Now, just shift over to the tag team. Oh, you're pulling it up. There we go.
I got you.
Much easier. So there's our men's.
Okay.
And you know what? If you want to go to the women's, go ahead.
Well, let me see the tag teams right quick.
All right. Real quick, tag teams.
Right quick. Damn, SCU is 7-0? Shit.
Yeah, right?
That is surprising.
Damn.
And our number 1 contenders, Pac and Ray Phoenix, are the number 4.
We're 1-0. Well, don't forget they're #1 contenders because of a battle royal.
Yeah,
true.
I understand that, but yeah, this still feels pretty weird because you have Top Flight as number 5, but they're 4-0.
How are they 4-0? Didn't they lose to Jericho and MJF? That didn't count.
They did.
Yeah, didn't they? Huh.
Did they beat Jericho and MJF?
No, they lost to them.
That had to be after the reset. So
It had to been then.
Oh, right there. It's right underneath that. MJF's turn on the inner circle obviously means his tag team relationship with Jericho is over. Thus, they dropped out of the rankings from number 4.
Wow, that's how they're pulling it. That shouldn't even matter though. They still lost though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I'm reading it as.
Huh. Okay, so we
Pac
have
and Phoenix moved up a spot as they wait for their contractually obligated title shot against the Bucks. Top Flight flew into the number 5 spot. So before this, Pac and Phoenix were number 5, and then Top Flight, I guess, were number 6.
all right. So number 5, we have Ryo Mizunami,
That makes
Britt Baker at 4, Nyla Rose, Ty Conti, Red Velvet, and Sheeta being the champ.
Yeah, okay, so this in a way makes sense to me, mainly for the fact that you have Ty Conti and Nyla Rose going against each other in a rematch next week. So that in a way makes
Okay.
have people in the top 5 actually wrestling each other. Cool. Britt Baker makes sense to me as well. What doesn't make sense, and that Rio does make sense in a way, but why is Thunder Rosa not on here though?
I was about to say, where's Thunder Rosa?
Yeah. Because if that's the case, you might as well take Ty Conti out, keep Rio in, and throw Thunder Rosa in here. Again, no offense.
What is Thunder Rosa's record here?
Love. But at the same time, she hasn't been pushed the way that Red Velvet's been pushed, Nyla, Britt, or Rio Mizunami. So that in itself is weird. But so what the fuck? But either way, Red Velvet.
Where is Thunder Rosa on here? She has taken a lot of losses though, but that was mainly like with tag teams.
Against Britt. So you know what? Maybe that's the case. Maybe that's why. Okay, you know what? I'll probably give that because it was what. Britt,
no, but that's like with tag teams though. So,
well,
I don't know.
She lost to Nyla Rose in the semifinals.
She did.
And Britt beat her in a match previously, and then shit, I don't fucking know.
But then Nyla Rose. Oh, never mind. Wait, did Nyla Rose beat Britt in that tournament?
Yes, in the tournament to go to the.
Okay. I'll just have Nyla Rose be the common denominator here that ruled out Thunder Rosa.
Possibly
be the case.
Anyway, so yeah, that's the rankings.
But Jade though.
But Jade Cargill though.
Jade has like complete 180 because when she came on the scene, I was just like, the fuck, why? And then when she came on after all of this, as I was still kind of just sour on the whole issue. But once that match happened with that tag match with her and Sherry against Cody and Red Velvet, she won me over completely. And then to see her last night was just like, oh yeah, she's got it. She's got it. Like Jade, you might get your own banner on here. You keep doing what you're doing. You're gonna be the new China.
Right? She possibly could be.
It's damn possible. So we'll see. But what happened next was probably the first of a few anticipated things. Probably the most anticipated thing because last week we left off on one hell of a note and cliffhanger, and that was MJF aligning himself with none other than FTR, Sean Spears, Tully Blanchard, and of course, who was always been by his right side or left side, depending on how you think about it, Wardlow. They showed up in they had a vignette where they showed up in a mother effing jet.
Yep.
And then they made their way to the ring where Tully cut the initial promo talking about how he started his career with the absolute best group of men in the business. And he plans to end his career with the absolute best men in the business. And then he passed the mic to Mr. Malcolm Jacob Friedman.
You know what? I'm gonna just skip ahead for a second.
Oh goddamn!
just for a quick second, because he brought it up in his promo.
What's that?
Still amazes me that MJF is fucking 24.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when he said that he still has another 25 years left in the business, it was like, fuck. Like MJF is only 20 fucking 4.
Yup.
You know who was the last person who had this kind of steam behind them?
Outside
at a young age? Huh?
Outside of the Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton?
Yes.
Pick one.
Velveteen Dream. Until he fucked that
up. Oh shit. Oh no.
Yes, you are absolutely right.
They're about the same age.
You are absolutely right.
They are about the same age.
If Velveteen Dream ever comes back to relevancy, I just don't want to see the Twitter war between MJF and Velveteen. Like he'll just say "sit down, Patrick" or something like that.
Hashtag sit down, Patrick.
Yes.
Do y'all see like some of the random tweets that MJF be like responding to?
Dude, have you seen some of the pictures he's taking with fans?
That man is a heel.
That man is an absolute savage.
Like, I think somebody had posted something about, oh, my baby being born is like part of my inner circle or something like that. And he was like, well, your baby's certainly not part of your circle. Your baby's kind of ugly. Like, it was
Yikes.
like...
He's someone who truly lives the gimmick.
But
yes,
that was a hell of a promo. And not only did he cut a hell of a promo, but I love the way he put everybody over in the promo.
Now,
but I guess the big question, guys, too, how do we feel about the name?
I don't mind. It's gonna grow on me, obviously. I love the way that it sounds. The Pinnacle does sound nice but it's still in the same lane as like the Kingdom.
Yeah.
But it's not 4 horsemen levels of like legendary. But they can build it up to where it rolls off the tongue and it's like, yo, the Pinnacle. Cool. I will say this. When in my earlier years wanted to pursue professional wrestling, I had in my mind the character of being the Prodigy. I can no longer say that would have been functional in a way, mainly because MJF has taken everything and personified it to be able to be the Prodigy. As now in-ring ability, a little different because I mean we have yet to see his best, obviously, but his promo ability, get the fuck out of here.
Oh my god, dude!
Like somebody who's able to just be a heel, live to be a heel, not break character, to live that translates across all platforms, period. And the way that he was able to build up, just even stating the name of the Pinnacle, was good. Now, the way that I feel about it, a little bit different, but you know, what's in a name? It's what you make of it. And I have a feeling that the people that's involved in this are going to make the most of it. The only gripe that I had, the only 2 gripes that I have is that this promo was a bit longer than I would have liked it to be. And 2, shame on them for not getting Shawn Spears a better suit.
Dude.
I didn't mind the promo length only because they was introducing the group. So I didn't mind that.
Yeah, I didn't mind.
You talking about suits though? Did you see Wardlow's shirt?
I loved it.
This is beautiful. It is gorgeous.
Wait,
Everything
I didn't pay
about
attention to it.
his shirt was just like it was.
Oh, I need to go back and pay attention. I ain't pay attention to it.
It was the most like 80s action TV show shirt he could have had. Like if he wanted to be part of Miami Vice, all he had to do was like roll up the jacket sleeves or something. It was
nice.
But no, justice for Sean Spears' hair, because that needs to get fixed.
Yeah, I'm not really feeling that blonde like
you don't
that.
Want the blonde?
No.
Fine, I'm cool with that. I don't mind his mohawk. I just don't want it blonde. But I'm down with that.
Yeah. Him and Cody need to go back to brunette.
Now, with this group forming, my question is Tully a consultant to all of them or just FTR and Spears?
I definitely think all of them, because there's no way that he's not.
I think it would have to be since they gave him that mic time like that. So yeah, I would say to everybody. I would say,
and I hope this also starts Mr. Mayhem having more matches.
I think so, but I also think because what MJF said in this promo, he said they're all going to be draped in gold. I know, I'm paraphrasing, but I know he did say that to some extent. And I wonder how true that will come into fruition. Will it be something that happens?
Oh, he said, we'll take what we want when we want it. And I guess he was alluding to the belts that way.
And I do see this happening. I do see them all having titles, but I see it happening when they finally make the FTW championship mean something.
Oh, and then Wardlow can actually have a belt. Yeah.
There you go. And see, that's funny. Yeah. That's who I said was probably going to take that same title, because I see the TNT title on Spears, obviously the tag titles on FTR, and obviously the AEW championship on none other than MJF himself. I see this as a pseudo Four Horsemen, and I think that, and you know what? And of course, the Pinnacle is the name that's going to take the grow on everybody. But I think that the right thing by not calling themselves the Four Horsemen or the new Four Horsemen.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. Another question. How long do they keep Inner Circle off TV?
Retaliation. So
I want to say 2 weeks, but knowing them, they'll probably bring them back literally next week.
Okay.
But I would love for them to at least hold off for 2 weeks. Because I think they have that 6-man tag with FTR and Sean Spears against somebody.
Ooh, that can be their comeback, like at the end of that match.
But I would rather them hold off until the next week, because I would like for Pinnacle to get their first win as a stable without any interference or out any shenanigans after the match. Because I don't take away from their win, so that way they can have that momentum.
It was Dante from Top Flight and some team. I forgot who it was.
Oh, was it something Grizzlies or Bear? Oh, Bear Country. Bear Country.
It was Bear Country and Dante versus.
I think.
FTR.
I'm not sure. I do not know for sure.
Well, ironically enough, Bear Country was in the next match.
That's what it was. So no, I don't think it's Bear Country.
So this match, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything for you, because I'm just like scooting this. Didn't give a shit about it. Honestly, because the thing is, I'm getting very fatigued. I'm getting very fatigued on these super multi-man matches, especially when it doesn't mean anything. This did nothing for anybody involved in the match, and it didn't carry on anything after that. So, of course, look, the Hardy Party won. That's it. This did nothing for absolutely nobody. I hate to say that, because there's a lot of talent in this match, but this was a waste of fucking time. I'm gonna take the words out of Scoot's mouth, and I'm just gonna tell you that. So that's that.
That is that.
Sorry, not sorry.
The truth is the truth.
Anyway, on to the next thing.
All right.
The next thing, which actually was more intriguing, was again yet another interview between Mr. Tony Schiavone and Sting, but with a little twist, a little surprise. Of course, you had Sting talk, not important. And of course, Sting's my guy, but that wasn't the point of this whole segment. There were two people in the segment that made a difference, and that was one, Darby Allin, and two, Brian Cage. First, Darby Allin came out and did exactly what I needed him to do because it's something that we've been talking about for the longest with the TNT title. He came out and he basically stated, you know, who's next and all this other stuff. And they tried to basically goat him into talking about the match that happened with him and Scorpio Sky and the events after.
Yeah.
And he said, no, it's not important. Like, this is foolishness. I'm paraphrasing.
I think I can quote him. He said, he's like, you know, since the start of 20, or since I've like won this title, I've had like 3 title defenses. And then the people have like cheered it, and he's like, "That's nothing to brag about. I need more. I need more matches on my belt, something like that." Like he's saying, like now he wants to return to being a fighting champion now that this is all done, which is.
And I love by saying, paying homage to the greatest TNT champion. And of course, Dark Order.
Yeah.
If you want this belt back.
I like how he said the greatest TNT champion and didn't state name, but then everybody else was like, yo, Brody.
Yeah.
Brody. And then he followed up with, so to anybody in the Dark Order, if you want to bring this title back home, you're open to it. And I'm like, thank you. That is all that I've wanted with you in this fucking title run.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Yep.
So
now Hangman can win the TNT title.
You want to know why it's not going to happen?
Doesn't need to happen yet.
Because Johnny Hungy. That's why.
You see, well, yeah, you know what?
And
let's go
as
ahead
much
and
as I
ahead to that one part. So we do get to the Dark Order, and I love -1. Like, I got this.
I want to do it, and it was like, no, you gotta wait at least 10 more years.
I love the way Evil Uno was like, gotta wait at least like 10.
Oh yeah, it wasn't 10. It was Evil Uno. Yeah, you're
right.
Yeah,
Evil Uno was like, you gotta wait at least like 10 years.
Yeah.
And then like I like how Reynolds was like, well, what about Silver? Silver, Johnny.
So
the meat man.
That's probably what's gonna happen. But during all the not all the interruptions, but the one interruption from Darby, of course, like on cue, and I was about to get mad at this, but Taz got on the mic and interrupted, and I was like, "Oh fuck, are we serious with this?"
Wait, remember what you call it interrupted first?
Huh? Oh, Lance Archer. That's right, Lance
Archer. Yeah.
Personally, I don't know if I really want to see Sting and Archer.
No, I'd rather see Archer and have that go over. But yeah, Sting and Archer, I mean, maybe it'll be all right, but I don't care for it because it doesn't do anything.
I think the issue I'm having is, are we expecting every match Sting to be cinematic? Or what?
It's going to get old if it does, but I don't think Sting's going to have a whole lot of matches under his belt. You know what I mean? I think he's just going to be there for a promotional or enhancement.
True. I don't know because and again, like I said last time, all his matches should not be cinematic because they don't want to mess up the mystique of what they did, because what they did was probably one of the best cinematic matches that
I mean they put Darby's clip in the intro with Darby coffin dropping Cage. It's in the intro now.
That's dope. So
that's cool.
So but then now Team Taz interrupts.
Team Taz came out. Taz got on the mic, started talking, yapping his mouth. But Brian Cage took the mic from Taz. And I kind of seen where it was going. But even though I saw where it was going, Brian Cage's delivery when he did it was so real and authentic
Yeah.
Good on you. And of course, Team Tag got mad about it. And
well, another thing that happened on Elevation when Cage and Starks fought, I forgot who they fought. They had a little dissension in that match.
oh, really?
Cage was kind of trying to show off, and Starks tagged himself in, did what he had to do, and won the match. And they kind of had like a little stare down. And I think was it Hook and Hobbs or Hook and Taz? Somebody kind of like, in a sense, broke it up. So they've already kind of sowing the dissension with Team Tag.
That's weird when you say it like
Interesting.
I wouldn't think that. I mean, especially the dynamic between Starks and Cage, you would think Starks would be the one that'd be showboating, and then Cage would be the one to be like, "No, let's get it done." But
apparently it was Cage that was the one show, because I don't know, I forgot who they fought, but I guess he was trying to show off his power and this, that, and the other. Mm-hmm. Then eventually, I think they said Starks tagged himself in. Starks, blah blah blah, 1, 2, 3 won the match, and then that's when Cage was kind of like, "What the fuck, bro?" Kinda, so
interesting. Well, we'll see what happens with that, because I mean that's still like an open book. Because after that, everybody kind of dispersed, and then it went from that to obviously what we talked about as far as like the backstage segment between everybody in the Dark Order, trying to figure out what was going to happen from there. Because after that was a commercial break.
As much as I want to see Johnny Hungy versus Darby Allin, I kind of wanted that to be a slow build. Like I wanted to see like other members of the Dark Order. I want to see like 5 get like not like trashed because Darby Allin's Darby Allin's size, but I mean, see 5 take a loss, see maybe like Uno take a loss, and then you get to let Johnny Hungy.
The problem is it won't happen this way because unfortunately, Matt Hardy has his beef with the Dark Order.
That's a true statement.
That's gonna be a thing at some point where Matt Hardy and his little
God, don't let Matt Hardy. Oh no, Scoot, don't do that. That's
he has his beef with Dark Order. So Matt Hardy and his money management squad team group are going to start beefing with the Dark Order at some point.
If they fuck up this Johnny Hungy versus Darby Allin match, I'm not going to be happy about this.
Look, I'm not happy with anything Matt Hardy is doing right now. So,
oh no, I mean that just means that Matt Hardy's doing his job.
It'll just add to the list.
That just means that Matt Hardy's doing his job, though.
No, not in this case.
Fair enough.
Not in this case. Where did that Christian Cage interview fall? Did that fall before the Moxley Kingston tag match, or was it after?
I want to say it did, but I cannot remember for sure.
No, it actually did happen.
It happened before the tag match?
No, the Kingston match happened next after this.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like we were saying, I can appreciate the fact of Kingston and Moxley being all beat up, especially Mox. And then, with because the Good Brothers won, right? Or was it Mox and Kingston?
Yeah, no. Good Brothers won.
No, Mox.
Wait, was it Mox and Kingston? Mm-hmm. What match was I thinking of? Anyways.
Yeah. Okay. So I can appreciate the beatdown, and I can appreciate the Kingston getting his ankle stomped and him still trying to get in, and then them trying to destroy Mox, and then the Bucks of Youth come out.
The Bucks of Youth.
And stop the whole shenanigans,
mm-hmm.
Which unfortunately this whole situation kind of had me a little worried now.
What's up?
I don't think Death Triangle is going to win the tag titles.
Oh, you're thinking because Good Brothers lost Impact titles that they're going to beat?
Well, in the same breath, I did see today that the Good Brothers get their rematch. I think on that same pay-per-view,
that Kenny's
Moxley fights Swan. Kenny fights Swan.
Uh-huh.
So maybe they get their belts back from Finn Juice. I don't know. But when I saw this, I was like, I think the Good Brothers might end up taking them belts, and that can be the
Like their
other
betrayal.
crossover. Because I mean, remember earlier, Callis was telling, which we forgot that promo. Callis was
Yeah.
telling the Young Bucks that they aren't elite anymore. That they want
That
the
the
guys
Good
that
Brothers
was in
are.
Japan like they used to be. Like where were the Japan version of the Young Bucks?
Yeah, almost
Yeah.
like resting on their laurels rather than
So
elevating.
I'm gonna say this, and I don't know how you guys feel, but the way Mr. Deasley feels about Malcolm Bivens, I feel about Don Callis.
He's a snarky bastard, I know.
So the way he feels about Bivens, I kind of feel about this way with Don Callis.
Um, when the Bucks came out, this more so solidified what I talked about last week when I was like how Matt just looks like if you were to compare the Young Bucks to the Rockers, Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty, it's almost like the equivalent between the two because it's like when I look at Matt, I see like what Shawn Michaels was back then. And I look at Nick and I see like Marty Jannetty. And that's of course, and I say that, but it's not disrespect to Nick or Matt in any way, shape, or form. It's just the fact that the way that Matt comes off with his delivery and the way this persona is when he comes out, it's like you kind of see like what he's trying to portray in the ring. So when he came out to confront Kenny and the Good Brothers, it's like I saw like, yo, superstar. And
that's the thing. Personally, I don't find him intimidating.
Who, the Bucks?
Yeah. The thing is, okay, I'm talking about me personally.
I think there's a certain kind of a party I need to invite you to, Scoot.
That's fine. Me personally, if I was to see the Good Brothers and we were walking down the street together, that might be a size up that'd be like, I don't know, can I take both of these guys?
Probably not.
Especially with
right now.
Gallows being 6'7", that might be a difficult matchup. If I see the Young Bucks and I'm like, if I was to get into a fight with these two, I might fuck both of those guys up. And this is how I feel with the Young Bucks. When it comes to like intimidation factor, I can fuck both of them up. I might be wrong. I might be horribly wrong, but I think I could take both Nick and Matt.
I don't know, Scoot. They have so many moves. Like, how would you know which one is coming
This
at
is
you?
This is a legit street fight.
Well, I look at it like this: if I was to, I got to weigh the options. You go out with the Good Brothers, you go out with the Young Bucks. It's either like this: you're either gonna kick in dicks or pick up chicks. That's my thing on that end.
Yeah.
So, but you are right though. You are right.
Yeah, I was saying like if I'm weighing my options between, am I more intimidated by the Good Brothers or am I more intimidated by the Bucks? I'm
definitely
gonna fight
by the
Bucks.
Good Brothers.
Yeah, I'm gonna fight. I will take my chances fighting the Bucks.
Yes. Bucks of youth.
I think you and Cornette share that view.
Like
they're just small guys, but come on, they do flippy shit, guys. Come on.
Can we do that flippy shit on the streets, fam?
Have you never heard of parkour? Of course you can do that flippy shit on the streets.
Parkour.
See, that's why I wouldn't fight John Morrison. John Morrison runs off a building, flip twist. I'm like, fam, you won. You got it. I'm so sorry, Mr. Morrison, for ever coming up at you. You didn't just flip twirl. You got it.
But yeah, they good old Mox and Kingston won this match, but of course it lets them.
I love Kingston. Get me in the ring with Mox.
Get
me in the ring with Mox.
It works for wear though, because of course you had them attacked and you had all this and that go on. So it's hard to say what's going to happen moving forward. I don't know if they write Kingston off TV for a bit with the leg injury. We'll have to see. I don't know for sure, but it didn't seem like anything else was happening because there was no promo after that. They kind of just left it as it is. So
True.
Well, I guess we'll have to either wait for next week or see what happens over time. But yeah, I didn't get much out of that, so I'm assuming that they're just gonna write everybody off and just kind of leave it as is until, or rather, focus more on the Young Bucks versus Kenny and the Good Brothers type of situation. See what's going on with the dissension there. So because Kenny sure as hell ripped off the shirt that had all their hands doing the Too Sweet.
Yep.
So next up was yet another throwaway match between Ray Phoenix.
Yeah, it was.
And I have in that because these two are both very good competitors, Angelico and Ray Phoenix. Y'all have heard me talk before about Angelico, saying that he's like a lot taller than expected for what he does in the ring, but it's still effective. Ray Phoenix, always a pleasure to watch. But in this case, with these two going on, I would have rather see Death Triangle in a tag match with TH2 rather than this one-on-one match, because I would like with Phoenix, I'd rather watch Phoenix in singles competitors rather than watch him in a singles match with one singles tag competitor.
Yeah, like what's up with Pac not fighting?
Yeah, I don't know. Because of course I know we talked about it last time, saying did we think Pac and Nick were going to have a match next week, or rather this week,
right?
And they didn't. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. And it seems like a write-off because this match still made no sense. And I would have rather you just kept Death Triangle off TV, or rather have them in the segment with Penta with the Nightmare Family, and then set up a tag match probably with the Gun Club just for the fucks of it. Because that would have made more sense compared to this match here. But it is what it is. So we'll see. And the reason why I'm saying it's throwaway because it was a throwaway, and mainly because
as sad as that is,
the surprise of not only the night but the surprise of possibly the week, and that's the unsanctioned.
No. What? Christian Cage. Christian Cage had his promo.
Right, he did talk.
I'll be back.
So with Christian Cage's promo, it prompted me to listen to Booker T's podcast. He had a segment, and I saved this because I remember the Christian Cage promo. Booker said the way AEW is going right now, it seems like they're trying to revamp WCW.
I get that feeling too, but not to that same extent though.
So now what Booker was saying, and I thought this was an interesting way because he was on both sides of the coin. He said back in WCW, when they was bringing in Hogan's and Halls and Nash's, it was pushing us little guys back. It was pushing us back because they was getting the spotlight. True. And, one of the things, he said, not only were they getting the spotlight, but then they was also getting the money. And, when people, when the Bret Harts, the Hogans, the Hall and Nashes, and he listed a few, he was like, when they were coming over from WWF, they was immediately thrusted into the spotlight. And, you had us guys who was working, we had to work even harder now to be seen and be heard. Then he was also saying, like, if you truly think about it, what's a memorable match Hogan had in WCW?
You mean outside of the Sting match?
Outside of the Sting match, but like just period. Like, what match do you remember fondly of Hulk Hogan in WCW?
None. I remember feuds rather than matches, because if you think about the notable matches, you had him and Sting, and then him and Goldberg when Goldberg won the title. But that's primarily it, outside of the whole fuck finish with him and Nash with the Doom. But before that, before he joined NWO, he really only feuded with the Dungeon of Doom.
Yeah, and then he brought up TNA. He said now the opposite was in TNA because I was on the other side of the coin. Because he said when I went to TNA, a lot of the guys was looking at me like, oh, he's here to take our spot because he's one of those guys. They was looking at people like me, Hogan, Nash, and a few of Sting, Jeff Hardy's. They was looking at us like, oh, we're taking the little guy's spot. And he said, I had to prove to those guys that I wasn't here to take their spots.
Gotcha.
That I had to prove to those guys that, you know, I don't want y'all spot. And then his co-host Brad Gilmore brought up a good point, which made me now see both sides of the coin. He said, Book, because of you being in TNA, that helped me start to watch TNA, which got me introduced to the AJ Styles, the Robert Roods, so on and so forth. So he was like, you don't think that that could happen in AEW case, that with them bringing in Paul White, Christian Cage thing, that people could watch it and be like, hey, I kind of like this Darby Allin, or I kind of like so on and so forth. So, but Booker is thinking that AEW is on its way to being a revamped WCW.
Yeah, I can agree with that to an extent, but I'd have to disagree with this co-host mainly because I don't think Christian nor Big Show Paul White moves the needle as much. Sting
Yeah.
moves the needle, yes. Jericho moves the needle, yes. Miro to a certain extent moves the needle. Matt Hardy moved the needle at that point in time, not now. Just in the beginning where it's like, oh, we're gonna have that whole universe when it comes to Broken Matt Hardy moving forward.
Yeah.
But other than that, nobody else outside that moves the needle. The only it's really just hype at this point. Okay, you get Big Show on Twitter and it's like, okay, he's joining AEW. All right, I'm gonna check in and see what's up. Christian, the same thing. Oh, was surprised. Okay, I'm gonna check in and see what he says. But that's not something to say, okay, well, I'm gonna come in because even when Christian Cage joined TNA, it's not something that had me like, oh, I gotta watch TNA. And I was watching TNA at the time. Kurt Angle moved.
I'm about to say Kurt Angle was the one that made me like, made me go Scooby Doo mode. I was like, Arr!
Exactly. Before then, I was still watching TNA because I watched TNA at its inception. So I had been up to game on that. So when Jeff Hardy, let me see, Jeff Hardy went, but when Jeff Hardy went, but Jeff Hardy came back to
WWE
when he was
on
Cage on their I think it was their Thursday show at the time. I think their Impact show was their like Thursday show at the time.
Okay.
Top of the cage, and that's how they closed off the show. So for me, it was like, yo, that's dope. And even that still barely moved the needle, but I was still intrigued enough. Christian doesn't do that. So I don't agree with that aspect. At the same time, I also don't agree with the fact that he's going to take a spot. I think right now, since he is at this point the flavor of the month, I think what's going to happen is, of course, everybody knows he's not beating Kenny. Like, that goes without saying.
Yeah.
He's going to have a good match with Kenny.
Did he still have his belt?
Which belt?
Did he still have Kenny's belt, the AEW belt? Yeah.
I don't know if he took it with him.
Well, because I saw Kenny at some point, and he definitely did not have his belt on him.
Oh, okay.
So I was a little like, I was confused. I was like, does Christian still have that belt?
Well,
anyways,
I mean, yeah. Either way, I mean, Christian is still not winning the belt. He's gonna have a good showing with Kenny. Just to prove like, yo, I can still go. This isn't like a one-off for me. I'm gonna continue going, and then he's gonna move on to whatever other feud is after that. But this isn't taken away from a spot from anybody else because they haven't built anybody else up to take out Kenny or to move up, because the only people that you would have at this point is Mox, which he's already had his chance with, in the previous main event that he had, and then Pac, which is in a feud with the Bucks for the tag titles. Other than that, you really don't have anybody who is going to be credible enough to go up against Kenny or believable enough to even take the title from him, because nobody believes. And I guarantee you, nobody believes that Matt Sydal is going to take that title off of Kenny. Period.
Outside of like a
Well,
fuck
too,
finish. No, I'm kidding.
yeah. But then too, I think Book was also looking at it as AEW was in a unique position because they have so many younger talent
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah, yeah.
I understand. This is me now. I understand they have elevation and dark and dark elevation, but there's so many talent on that AEW roster that I can see why some people can feel like a Christian Cage coming in is kind of like a I'm not going to get featured now, possibly, or this, that, and the third. So I can see the gripes a little bit.
Yeah,
And the
that's
reason
fair.
I like what's going on is because of the fact that they have introduced the TNT title. And to me, it's like anybody who is feeling left out can focus on that division because that division can expand. But at the
True.
same time, again, they haven't really highlighted people enough to be like, yo, this is what we have going on. Because just like we talked about when we checked out the ranking system, it's really people that are already either occupied, both Mox and Pac. And then you have who else is on there? You had Miro that was on there, which it's obvious he will be eventually integrated into the picture at some point, but he's already in a feud. Anybody that's primarily on that ranking list is in a feud already that takes them away from being in the title picture altogether. So Christian isn't really taken from anybody, and I think that it's okay because it serves as a buffer for what is going to happen after that. Because we all know Kenny's going to Impact. He's about to take the Impact title away from Rich Swann. Sorry, Rich. I know it sucks, but
It's the god of wrestling, man. Just think
yeah,
of it as an honor.
it's to serve a purpose for an overall story that's going to go across wrestling and create history at this point.
Do
So
you want to break the fucking Iron Curtain or not? Oh, sorry, that's a
exactly.
wrong term.
No,
But you know what I meant.
it works either way. But yeah, so he basically summed up his whole promo,
Yeah,
basically stating that that's what his eyes on the prize. Like he wants to basically show everybody that that's what his intentions are. He wants to go after the title, and he wants to show everybody that he's going to outwork everyone. So that's where he's going moving forward. Now, this
Hold up. One more thing. I don't mean to interrupt you again.
no, you good, you good, you
But
good.
before let's get everything out the way.
Uh-oh.
Miro did have his segment with Kip.
I keep forgetting. Okay. And you know what? There was a reason why I forgot about this because it kind of pissed me off. Now, for one, I seen the dissension just a little bit. I hated the fact that Kip tried to integrate accepting this match because I love the way Miro's promo was going before that. But I love the Miro's rebuttal to Kip when he addressed the whole Penelope Ford thing from the match previously. And that was when I'm in the ring, I don't care about anybody. Say, I don't care about your wife. I don't care about this. I don't care about that. It's like we're going to war. That's what matters to me. The win matters to me. And it's like after that, when we go on Twitch and we play games and we stream, yeah.
But then, not only that, but take it from me, don't have your wife ringside.
Yeah, I love that. I loved all of that. And I ironically enough, I feel like that may have been a nod to like WWE, like hey, hint, wink, wink, nod, nod. It ain't finna happen no more. But
Right.
this is the setup for Miro going solo. It has to be. If it's not, yeah, all right, cool. But at least it shows Miro's intentions for what he wants moving forward, which is what we all want. We all want him to go on a solo run and dominate the fuck out of shit. So
Truth.
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. I don't know what to expect, but I know that I like what the fuck is happening, and I can't wait for this tag match to be over because we do not need it. Do not need it. Don't want it. Get it off my fucking TV. Eliminate it from all of existence because we are over and done with it.
Look, man, Charles Taylor fucked up. All right.
Yeah, he did. Put the best friends in something different. They need to go after the tag titles. They need to go and do something else. Matter of
What if
fact,
this is their way to reintroduce Trent? Like this is how like Trent comes back. Is it about the time for him to be healed or no?
no. I
Damn.
won't be healed until like the summertime.
Oh
Like,
yikes! Never mind.
Because honestly, Statlander has a better chance. Yeah, Chris Statlander has a better chance of recovering before Trent does. Because I think she's recovered by the spring.
Wasn't she an ACL?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, she's supposed to be healed by now. So I think at this point, I think they're just waiting for her to introduce her back again. So who knows? But with the talk of Chris Statlander, nice wrestler, we got to talk about
love some Statlander.
Something surprising, because I honestly, and this is truthful, because of course everybody who watched last week understands that I hate the fact that they keep putting Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa together, and they need to be able to savor and make this feud longer, or actually push the longevity of this to keep it fresh and not oversaturated with having them go in a tag match, singles match, 6 women's tag, just segment after segment after segment. They need to just wait and then keep this for a title feud. I literally, from the start of this match, went from why the fuck to what the fuck. Because I was literally like, why the fuck is this happening?
Understood.
What the fuck am I watching? Because, and that's in a good way.
Hey,
same.
How did Miro say it? Hit my music.
Yeah.
Shit.
Hey, Mr. Deasley, hit my music.
So,
hey, AEW, I just want to holler at you right quick. Just right quick. From a fan's standpoint, this is your women's title picture.
This should have been your women's title picture.
I don't give a shit about what Sheeta was doing. What Nia Jax was, not Nia Jax, Lord.
Nyla Rose.
Nyla Rose or Riho. This, Thunder Rosa, Britt Baker, that's your title scene. They got praised for that match, but we'll get to that later.
Yes.
This was just insanity.
It was beautiful.
It was. And it's funny because my preconceived notions had me at the beginning of this match where I just did not care. Like, I really wanted to just like fast forward through it, because I was like, yo, I don't want any part of this. But after like a third of this match went by, my interest was peaked just a little bit. Then they started doing certain things. I was like, huh. Then Thunder Rosa got busted open, and I was like, okay, all right, you got some of my attention. Then the ladders got introduced, and then I was like, you got some more of my attention. Then Britt got busted open, and then
I was like, oh, I'm at attention.
Yeah, I'm at attention, and I was still trying to like not focus, and the match was still going on. And I was like, okay, this match is getting me. And as Britt and Rosa were going into it, of course, you had the integration of Rebel, not Reba, getting thrown into this match. And I was still intrigued by this match. And I was like, okay, they're really going at it. Okay, what's finna? And then all of a sudden, something changed. One thing in particular changed in this match. And that was the moment that Britt grabbed the infamous cloth bag.
Yeah.
When she grabbed that bag, any percent of interest that I did not have on this match went fully into this match. And
I went into full video game mode, like when you do the lean in.
What they did with the tax was special because you don't see what they did with the tax in a lot of the most recent hardcore matches that introduced tax. What they did was almost equivalent to what Mox and Kingston did in their match with their first match with the tax.
Oh
But
shit,
it
yeah.
was more so because what they did had me wince and cringe just a little bit because of what they did. I was like, yo, this is fucking women. Now, before I get in,
Yes.
before I continue on with that part, let me just go ahead and state this right now. Britt Baker now has the infamous image of the Crimson Mask way past what Becky Lynch had when Nia Jax broke her nose.
I was just about to get ready to say that
image,
she had that her face, and especially the way she was able to look into the camera, and was like,
Yes, and that.
yeah,
Ooh,
I'm
yes.
bleeding.
like
that
I
was
love
brutal.
every bit of it. And so when it got to the point where Thunder Rosa powerbomb Britt onto the thumbtacks, I was like,
Oh,
that's their spot right there.
yep.
But then it continued because then,
Oh,
Thunder Rosa tried to pin Britt on there, but then Britt put the fucking her fucking submission on the what was it, lockjaw?
yeah, lockjaw.
Lockjaw on top of the fucking tags while they were still on there. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, what the fuck else are they gonna do? And they continued after that. Continued after that, and they still scrambled more so on the fucking tax as it was. And you could see the pain in Britt's face when she was looking at it.
I'm gonna ask y'all the same question I asked the missus. You're gonna get paid for the match regardless. How much extra of a bonus they have to throw in for you to get slammed on the thumbtacks?
I don't know.
I think if I remember correctly, I think the missus said like 10,000.
I mean, you
that's what it would take for you.
No, for the missus, 10,000.
Look, I mean,
yeah,
10,000 for it. Shit.
Yeah, I'll take 10,000 for that.
Because
I mean, because
like it's just my back full of thumbtacks. It's not like my head's getting on them too.
When she took it, I was like, oh no, she got in them tacks. Like
yeah.
It's funny because even after that point throughout the match, you could still visibly see her try to take some out of her back because you can tell it was actually bothering her.
Yep.
When they got to the ring apron before that final table spot, she tried to get on the turnbuckle and she was still trying to pull them out of her back because you could tell, like you could literally tell, like, yo, this shit is uncomfortable as fuck. And honestly,
I can never like give Britt Baker any crap. Like she's done everything.
Yeah, at that point, it's like
I mean since like starting at AEW not really being much, and then I don't know, finding her niche with this injury that she
the character work, yes.
Yeah, like no, she's like developed so much. Like there's like she can do no wrong right now.
Yeah. Like
especially after this match.
Like again, that's the adverse to Scoot's question. It's like you couldn't pay me to go against Britt Baker at this point. Like no.
Right. She's been in more hardcore matches than I have by now. So
character work and everything. After this, I'm like, yo, throw the title on her. Like even though, of course, spoiler alert,
for real,
Thunder Rosa won. So and I want to talk about that too, because that's a testament to what they went through in this match. Because even after Thunder Rosa got the pin, you saw like the visible emotion on her face, because as soon as that 3 was counted and that bell rang, she immediately just fucking bawled.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, that's completely out of fucking character. And then, of course, after that, you saw anybody who understands like holding kayfabe and everything. We understand how the wrestlers interact with each other. And just to watch her cry, get her hand raised, and then go back down to Britt, and then you can see them communicating. Like,
yeah.
understood. Like, yo, they work well together. Like they made fucking magic. Because of course, after that match, I was like, yo, this fucking match,
Oh my god.
best women's match of the year at this point, just from an overall
Yeah.
perspective. Like, there may be some that went over on a technical sense, but as far as like overall presentation, this match does it for me. And it works as a climax to a feud. Like, at this point, you should not have Britt and Thunder Rosa interact with each other at all unless the title.
At 3 minutes, at 3 hours and 5 minutes.
There is an echo.
Oh shit! Hold on. Let me see if I can get rid of this echo. Where is that coming from?
I don't know. Hold up. Check it out.
Are we good?
Scoot, try it again.
I felt like an alien attack.
Yo.
Right.
Am I clear?
Yeah, we're good.
We're better.
Oh,
we're better.
But to repeat, at 3 hours and 6 minutes, this could possibly be my favorite match of the year so far.
Ooh, over everything?
I mean, because I even tried to ask the missus, when was the last time you, other than Becky Lynch getting punched in the nose, but when was the last time you saw women bleed?
Yeah.
Like, this was a damn good match.
Did they bleed at War Games?
Not like that.
It was involuntary.
If you want to talk about bleed, I think the last time that somebody bled was like Mia Yim in that ladder match with Io Shirai.
Yeah, but this would definitely, unless some crazy shit happens the rest of the year, this is definitely going to be in my favorite matches of the year.
Yeah,
rightfully so.
But I think as of right now, if it's not my favorite match of the year, it's definitely probably 2.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Because this was my favorite match of the night on both NXT and AEW.
Yes.
Agreed.
And that's the crazy part, because I went into this match expecting absolutely nothing. I didn't care for it coming in, and then they won me over, and I was just like, yo, I am so glad that I didn't fast forward through this shit, because
man, I can imagine your face though. You'd be like, what the fuck? Oh shit, hold on a second.
Well, see, that was my thing. Of course, I watch NXT first. So I was seeing like some of the images on Instagram, and I was like, wait, whoa, what the fuck happened to Britt? I was like, wait, what is happening? And then like I was starting to see like ladders and thumbtacks. I was like, wait, what is happening? I was like, honestly, to be perfect,
everything, like, you didn't get a chance to be surprised like when it happened.
Well, oh my god.
No, I didn't really truly get a chance to get surprised, but I will say this, because of that match, that's what made me run to AEW so fast.
Oh, okay.
But I was like, what the hell is happening?
Rightfully so.
Yeah, definitely.
But it was an unsanctioned lights out match, so
yeah,
you gotta
it annoys me that Thunder Rosa doesn't technically get that win.
I know, right?
That does bug me.
I'm glad, because it's for storyline purposes, it does make sense. Because at this point, that means that Thunder Rosa still hasn't won in a singles match over Britt Baker.
Yeah, so it does help with that.
That for character work for Britt Baker, perfect. But I
still don't like it.
No, I trust me, I get it. I understand, and I know why. But I also believe that that it's going to be Britt Baker that eventually wins that title off of Sheeta, and it's going to be Thunder Rosa that beats Britt for that title to get that win. Which I think that's why they're keeping that shit in storyline, to where in the records it doesn't show that she has a win over Britt Baker. So
right.
So I'm okay with that because that's long time story building and I love it. But outside of that, because of course, like you can all tell, that was AEW in a nutshell. And just for the record, I love how AEW does their unsanctioned matches because it's something refreshing, but it's different at the same time. Because with the way that they do it, they don't. It may seem like they're oversaturating it, but they're not. They're using it for a purpose, and clearly, last night showed that it meant something. So I want to get your guys' take as far as like a closing thought on the week of wrestling, SmackDown notwithstanding, obviously, because it has not happened. So we'll
hmm. NXT
Personally,
NXT is clearly setting up plenty.
True.
I mean, it looks like they have more matches lined up than the main roster does. So, that all being aside, yeah, solid week for NXT. Got to see shots, even though it was for like only like a little bit. But that always puts a little brightness in my day, a little pep in my step. Um, as far as AEW goes, thought it was an overall solid show. Didn't really lay a whole lot of work, but then it did, if that makes sense.
No, it does. On my end, it does. So yeah.
Okay. Well, as long as it makes sense to somebody. But definitely up there for match of the year with the very surprising match between Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa. I mean, it's Thunder Rosa and it's Britt Baker. You thought it was going to be good, but
Thunder
damn, it
Rosa,
was
though.
by Thunder Rosa, though. Scoot?
Personally, I want to give my shout out to Kofi Kingston. Even though New Day are now 11-time world champions, Kofi Kingston is a 24-time champion and a
Jesus.
14-time tag champ. And with him being 14-time tag champ, that ties him with Edge.
Oh, wow.
So definitely want to give our shots to Kofi Kingston.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
All right, Kofi. Shout out. Shout out. This week it wasn't meh, but it was meh. I know it's gonna sound contradictory, but that's what it was. Mainly because like there wasn't anything that was like notable as far as like last week was, but you had something very prominent in both AEW and NXT. NXT, of course, building towards Stand and Deliver, and then AEW with Pinnacle and the women's unsanctioned match, which of course that's gonna hold more leverage on my end because of the fact that it surprised the fuck out of me. I went into that not expecting anything and then left like again from why the fuck to what the fuck. And I loved every bit of it and I want more of it because this is what I want for AEW's women's division. It's what I've talked about. Like you have talent in it that actually deserves more showcasing. Britt, Thunder Rosa, Jade Cargill, Red Velvet, Ty Conti, Anna Jay. I know you're hurt, but get back. Sheeta, you're still a good champ. I just want more of
Just
what.
don't want you with the belt right now.
Yeah, basically. I mean, you've had a long run. Let's go ahead, give it to Britt, have her do her character work that she needs to do, so that way she can build it up for Thunder Rosa to take, and then go from there. But until then, I just need to see better. I need you to capitalize on this moment because you're not going to have a second chance at this. Because if you try to replicate this, it's not going to have the same effect. This impact right here that you have, no pun intended, you need to capitalize on it. You need to go ahead and either put Thunder Rosa into a championship picture or throw Britt Baker into the championship picture. Period. But I'm not finna go on this rant because I got plenty of time for that on other platforms.
Yep,
But
yep.
let me go ahead and let you mother effers know where you can find the triple threat brain trust attack. So Scoot, let them know where they can find all of the necessary smoke.
At the Scooter Ray. That's where you can find the smoke. It's there. I mean, the thing is, you know what? I'll make it even better. Do it like Aleister Black's original promo when he got to the main roster. Just knock on the door.
Door.
Just knock on the door. Just knock on that door. And when I answer it, I will bring you said smoke. All you have to do is knock. That's it.
Just
Just knock.
just imagining you holding a smoke machine and just like blasting somebody in the face
Yeah.
with smoke.
Right there.
Yeah, right there. Just knock. But at the Scooter Ray, IG, Twitch, YouTube, just not. But of course, you know, Fridays, Saturdays, you catch me with the ninjas, less the stealthy ninjas, all one big word. Twitch, YouTube, IG, Twitter, all that good stuff. Friday, Saturday nights, Boss, Aranya, Xerxes, and myself, we there. But like I said, smoke, bring the smoke to me, not to them, but to me.
All
Knock
day.
on this door. Knock on this door.
Jaeger, I know you wanna talk to Shotzi, but I also need you to include all the other ladies in the IWC so that way they don't feel left out. Let them know
Oh,
they can stalk, find, contact, harass you.
oh man, I've had 3 restraining orders since we last plugged this. It's a lot of paperwork to file just for one person. Like, let's not encourage the stalking and harassing. But if you want to game with me, right there is the name Jaeger Bombastic, PlayStation, Xbox. Man, oh man, Walmart, you were pulling some fuckery earlier when I was trying to buy your PlayStation 5s, but it's gonna happen, whether it be you or whatever other retailer. But oof,
Sony.
I'm looking at you, Sony. But if you want to get with me in any other way, social medias, it's down there in the crawl. It'll come around. But that Himza winning. There it goes. Bam. Bam bam bam. Or oops, there we go. Mr. Dizzle. Mr. Dizzle, the fearless leader here.
Oh no, that's too much. It's too much weight on me.
Oh, I don't know, man. I seen you. I
I
seen you
don't
them
know.
shoulders. Those are some pretty
I
strong
mean,
shoulders, man.
you
Oh,
kind
this
of are you kind of are MJF at the moment, or
guy.
Oh man.
Chris Jericho.
I
Ooh.
will
You
say
know,
this, ladies,
just don't become Adam Cole.
Yeah,
no,
just don't have the huge pec separation issue like Jericho currently has, apparently.
just for the sake of Jaeger, ladies, if you do
Ooh.
happen to get a hint or a whiff of that PS5 or Xbox One X. I say specifically X because nobody wants the Xbox One Series S. Sorry, I said One X.
Yeah, you said it. Yeah.
Series X. Nobody wants the Series S. If you get a hit on that, let our boy Jaeger know. Let him know.
Please.
You
Please.
want to purchase it for him. He's also looking for
Oh,
a sugar mama.
I will do some things if somebody bought me.
Do something.
Hey,
I will
he
do
willing to
some
do some
things.
things for a little piece of change.
I mean, that's a $500 piece of change, but yes, you are right.
But just for the sake of finding me, if you have any reason to contact me, you really shouldn't. But if you need to contact this guy, Mr. Lip Diesel, it's Slip Dizzle. IG, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, anywhere you can think of. Because why? I am the only one, numero uno, only Lip Dizzle in this world. Period. Point blank, plain and simple. Search it. If you need that positivity, go ahead, look up Lifestyle One Up because everybody needs positivity. No time for that negativity unless you want to bring that shit to Scoot in the form of smoke. But let me tell you right now, you
down
don't
that
want to
way.
do that. You will leave
Hey,
empty-handed.
hey, I'm just letting y'all know. If I got the time, trust me, you will know.
That guy right there.
You don't want that. You don't want those.
You don't want it, but
Don't
it's that
do
guy down there.
You don't.
I mean,
do
I
you
not.
promise
don't want
you.
it though. But if you do, but you don't.
If you want to be
Man,
foolish enough, by all
don't be
means,
foolish, man.
don't listen and go ahead and go do it. But you're gonna leave.
I
But
mean,
thing is,
I
I'm a
mean,
real life heel. I'm a real
don't
life
go do it.
heel.
So you thought you
I am a real life heel. I am an equal opportunist agitator.
He said MJF ain't got shit on him.
there you go. But as always, because we know you love us so much, you
So
love
much
hearing us,
love.
you love seeing us, you love interacting with us. So until you check in to these beautiful and handsome faces and voices next week, too sweet to you beautiful mother effers, to my boys, my familia.
Bam bam.
Until next time, as